chat host, Eric Von Hessler. The other voices you hear are the Doctrinaires. Man of 1,000 voices, Tim Andrews. Lady of 184.7 characters, Autumn Fisher. The man behind the glass, George Clark. And the handsomest producer in all of producery, Jared Yamamoto.
Autumn, are you ready for Kermit the Frog's commencement address at Maryland later today? You ready?
Yeah,
At Maryland?
Yeah, it's going to be at the University of Maryland.
He's a Terp.
Ready.
Go Terps. Terp.
You're going to drive out there. Drive out
Worst
there.
name, I think.
Terrapin?
Yeah, doesn't it just mean turtle? Can they call themselves? That's not very menacing. The turtles.
Turtles.
I've noticed some of the snapping turtles in my pond are pretty mean.
Are they the ones that have that terrible helmet that has like a crest on it or something?
That's one of their alternates, yes.
It's so busy.
Yeah, they
Used to be an M.
Yeah, it used to be. They have the M. That's one of theirs, and they also have one where it's like an angry turtle, and then it's got
Okay.
like the turtle with the.
So am I
it's with
thinking
a
the
football
same?
helmet on.
Am I thinking the same? There's one.
Yeah,
that
you're
has
right.
it's just like a crest of arms, kind of.
Yes,
That is the worst.
That's one of their alts.
That is the worst.
Oh, that's on their state flag.
Well, it's so busy. You
Yeah,
say it's
there's a
just
lot
weird.
going
It's just,
on there.
it's I'm trying to watch football here and I'm being distracted by the helmets. I don't like that. I gotta say something here and I don't know. I don't know where people are on this, but every issue has people who think things on both sides, right? That's the way that it is. Otherwise, it's not an issue. If everybody agrees on something, it's not something that we call an issue. So, and leaders, they'll see things differently from time to time. Often. I haven't even really, we have some audio. I'm just being filled in on this whole thing with Trump. And is that the Oval Office where they have on those yellow chairs and they give okay. So, number
so JD
one.
dances in there. You saw Pete
Yeah.
Hegseth in the
The
room
whole
too.
Zelensky room. Let's call it the Zelensky room.
Yes.
Nice outfit.
But this thing where the President of the United States calls other leaders to the Oval Office to humiliate them, I'm not on board with. This is not, at the point that you're sitting down with a leader from another country and you're having a news conference, it's not a debate. So I'm not a big fan of the Oval Office debates in front of cameras. You want to get something done. People who get something done, it happens behind the scenes. You're not looking for it, and all of a sudden, deal. That's how things are done. So again, hold on. I have not watched it all, but I just want to say this, and people can get mad at me, whatever. I don't have the bandwidth with all of the stuff going on in this country and also England and Europe and the natural allies and the fact
China.
the fact that Canada is now an enemy out of nowhere. I don't have the bandwidth to dig down deep to understand the intricacies of South African politics. I wish everybody the best. I hope that people get good leadership. But the President of the United States is not the President of South Africa. And has somebody noticed that we're $36 trillion in debt and the big, beautiful bill supposedly is going to take us to 40? I'm not saying that other people's concerns in other countries are not important. We're part of the human, being group of people. Whatever.
We're an interconnected world.
We're fine. I wish the best for everybody. But don't ask me to have an opinion about something unless I know about something. And I don't have the bandwidth to suddenly dive down. Every moment in politics in every country didn't just happen from last week. It's the last 100 years, the last 200 years, how they were founded, what happened. We all know about South Africa's past, Nelson Mandela. Are you an expert on it? Because if you tell me you are, I think you're lying. Certainly some people are. They study it. But the 98.5% of us are just going to agree with the president if we voted for him and disagree with the president if we didn't. And most of us don't have any damn clue what we're talking about. I have no idea.
Meanwhile, the South African president, Eric, was like, yeah, I thought we were here to talk about trade.
Yeah, he's supposed to be. And I don't know if this is from Elon getting in his ear. He was born in South Africa. I don't know. But it is not the job of the United States of America. This is the problem that we've had way too much. And Trump ran against this concept, that we have to be involved in the internal affairs. We're all over the world. We're involved in these wars. I'm going to tell you something you may not want to hear. This is the reason why America should stay out of other countries' business, right? Because whenever two sides have been fighting each other for 50 years or 100 years or 500 years or 1,000, as it is in some places, where it started and whose fault it is falls to the wayside. When two sides fight each other, Ukraine and Russia, they've hated each other forever. When two sides fight each other for 50, 100, 1,000 years, at the point you get to the modern life, both sides have done horrible things. You're not in a war for 100 years and only one side has ever done anything that legitimately caused the other side to call it the worst thing ever. Don't we have enough of our own business? I mean, this country is teetering. Do we need to put ourselves into other fights? Like I say, I wish everybody the best of luck. I would be happiest if everybody on earth woke up with good leadership. I think that would be the greatest thing. If I could blink my eyes and make that happen, I would. But do you know that there are atrocities going on all over the planet? And 95% of them we pay zero attention to. When we do pay attention, there's usually some sort of profit motive thing going on. Man, if you're in a country where there's a leader who's terrorizing you on a daily basis and there's nothing underneath the ground that's of value, or you don't have any businesses that need to be, there's no American interest in there. We don't care. We don't care about most of the horrible people doing most of the horrible things on the planet. And then we have a media that never gives us world news until it's time to take action. Ukraine and Russia have hated each other for 100 years. Before the invasion, 3 weeks before the invasion, how often did you see any stories about that? So it's just the media that point, the presidency, the Congress, then the media, and then this is the country we now, and then everybody suddenly becomes an expert overnight and knows what the answers are. And it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. We've got enough problems right here. Let's make deals with South Africa that are good for us. And let's, on the world stage, if we think that there's problems there, whenever we can, the United Nations, whatever, speak out, say what we think is wrong. But how does this happen that I wake up one day and suddenly another country's problems are something I suddenly have to make a stand on? I can't take a stand on it. I don't know any more than you do. It's just the difference between us is I'm not going to act like I do.
You're not an expert on the Afrikaners yet?
I'm not. I'm not. I know a little bit. I mean, obviously, Nelson Mandela and all of that stuff put them, when I was growing up, to one of those countries that you did read about from time to time. But nobody listening to me who isn't an expert, and that's very few, is an expert. But people are going to go walking around. It's all going to come down to whether you love Trump or you hate Trump. I know exactly where it's going to go. If you love Trump, you're for it. If you hate Trump, you're against it. None of you on either side know what the hell you're talking about, unless you're steeped in, a country's history is broad and long and full of, it'd be like Republicans acting like only Democrats have ever done bad things in politics, or the Democrats acting like only Republicans. There's an understanding. Countries go on, people do bad things, people do good things, it shakes out, and some things are horrific, but now you want an opinion from me, and I got to say, get back to me in a month, because I don't know anything about South African politics, and neither do you.
I just couldn't imagine the president of South Africa, after I think it's a 13, 14-hour flight up to D.C., you land there, and then you get this video shaming your country and what some of the actions...
We have no context for that video, which I haven't seen. I'm sure everything that's in the video is horrific. Everything in there is probably true. But I don't know the broader thing. I don't know how it was edited. Republicans, hey, you know how you don't believe Al Gore and his documentary? Oh, what, do you just put that in a box and set it aside? Or do you think to yourself, oh, there's a way to edit things to make people believe something? I'm not saying that's what happened here. What I'm saying is I'm not stupid enough to be shown one clip and suddenly believe that I have the whole picture. Now, it's possible that once you do get the whole picture, you go back and go, yeah, the clips were right, but I can't make that call. And if I was a world leader, the first thing I was, I'm not going to America, and I'm not sitting in that Oval Office and being made a chump of. I mean, this is just all of this stuff that goes on, and then it's like 4 days later, you start seeing articles, yeah, there really wasn't much in that deal. It's like, how about one good deal? With no drama, no soap opera, a good deal between leaders that no producer would think this would make a good reality show. And just come out and go, hey, here's the deal. The fighting stops. This is what happens. Everybody's agreed. It's over. Trump needs to learn that he cannot will things into reality. Putin is playing him. It's so obvious. And he put himself in the position. And I'm somebody who is not standard with my... I actually think that Russia has a reason to not want Ukraine in NATO. And I'm not a big fan of the way NATO has just crept up right to his... So I'm not one of these people who just is here and bashing Putin all the time. But I know what I see. And Putin is like, okay, I'm going to play Trump. I'll give him a call. He can go out and he can puff his chest, whatever. The leaders of the world have figured out Trump. Walk in with roses, tell him how great he is, spend the first 20 minutes talking about all of Trump's accomplishments, and if you do that, you can probably walk out with a pretty good deal. So, I'm a skeptic on the deal maker. I'm glad he's trying to end wars. I'm happy about that. And if people are being persecuted in another country, my wish is that stops. But we've got 9 billion problems of our own. But you know what, ain't one. But, I mean, why are people, is this just for distraction purposes? If you want to be worried about your country, you should wake up every day thinking about the fact you're $36 trillion in debt, and you should go to bed at night thinking about that. And maybe mix in a little bathroom politics here or there, but it should not be at the top of the line. And what's happening in a country that I will never visit in my life.
Hey, we got a direct from Atlanta to Joburg.
Yeah, maybe
cool.
I'll go to Joburg. Would I read?
Is that Johannesburg? Is that what you're saying?
It's Johannesburg. Yeah. Call it Joburg for short.
Yeah,
Foot.
cool way.
Oh, Delaware.
What I've, what I've learned, what I know about Johannesburg is bring a bodyguard. So I'm not really like, well, that's where I want to go.
My friends had their honeymoon.
There are cities in this country where you need a bodyguard. Can we concentrate on that?
My friends had their honeymoon. They went to Johannesburg and Cape Town, and they came back. The water there is still not good, and they had to fly back with destroyed stomachs because they drank some of the water that was there.
Well, that happens.
Yeah,
that happens a lot of places.
They need fluoride. No fluoride. I don't know. That's right, Art.
No, that does happen. That's just a matter of. Sometimes it's really bad, but sometimes it's just a matter of they live there and it doesn't bother them, and then you go there and it bothers you. Mexico, that used to always be the thing. I don't know if it's still there. There was a big play, "Don't drink the water" or something like that.
Don't they call it Montezuma's Revenge?
Yeah. So some places you're going to go, you get a couple days of diarrhea, it goes away, you get used to it, you move on, you have a good vacation.
I would say a flight that's 2 or 3 hours, fine to be dealing with that kind of stomach issue. A flight that's over 10 hours.
Well, it's more likely it's the longer the flight, it's more likely to happen because you're more likely to go into a culture where you're not eating those foods and drinking that water. So you're just going to be less.
I blame the couple who drank the water.
Yeah, they should have known.
Yeah.
Well, they should have known.
The hell.
You
don't
should
go
check before you go to some place. Am I allowed to drink this water or not?
I did in Spain. I was like, hey, am I allowed to drink this water?
I don't like the water in Florida.
Well, it doesn't hurt you though.
That's foreign water
but it
there.
tastes weird.
It does. Well, a lot of
Tastes like sulfur.
Well, it's because there's salt and there's oceans all around. Are you talking about the water from the tap or the water from the ocean?
Oh, is that what it is? No, I'm talking about the water from the tap.
Okay. I think there's just more of a sulfur smell when you're in Florida. I've noticed that around
But
everything.
I'm not everywhere in Florida.
Well,
by
I'm
the
telling you.
ocean.
I blame DeSantis. DeSantis did that.
Well, there's in Pennsylvania
Well, I've
where I
always been
grew
by
up,
the ocean.
everything tasted like sulfur. If you had well water or if you had a spring, it tasted
Yeah.
like sulfur.
Yeah, weird.
Well, you know, salt, it's a big part of the world.
Yeah.
It's a large part of the world.
It's a
That's
large
why
part of my
It's
body.
weird. The oceans, the reason they taste like salt is because all minerals run off of mountainsides and stuff, but there's so much salt that over the millions and millions of years, the other minerals you can't, and so it's just like leaked in there. Isn't that weird? That's strange. It wasn't
Very
like,
strange.
It wasn't like there's a huge salt mine at the bottom of the ocean. It's just very slowly.
spring.
You know, when you give yourself millions and millions and millions of years, things can build up.
I thought the Morton family found all that there, and that's
Oh
why.
well, they invented salt back,
They did.
back in the
That little
1800s, I
girl.
believe. Yeah, it was that
The little
Morton
girl.
girl, but she was a genius.
When it rains,
When-
it pours.
Yeah, when it rains.
Do you know what that is?
I know that it's the little girl. I don't know why they went with that as a logo thing. I don't know why.
Oh, I don't know the logo.
Yeah,
well,
what?
because when it's so it used to be that salt wouldn't pour if it was damp, and so if it was raining outside, you couldn't pour your salt.
Oh, that makes
And so
sense.
they made this special salt. I think it's iodized.
Iodized.
Iodized. Yeah. So then it makes it so that if it gets moist, it still pours. So when it rains, it
I
pours.
got it. I thought they put Ironsides in there, but that would have been Raymond Burr, and he was a famous
Meet me at the
curmudgeon.
gas station.
Come on now. The man played Perry Mason.
Yeah.
Show some respect for
Still,
heaven's
meet me
sakes.
at the gas station.
I used to love watching him because he was like my grandfather. He's one of these people who, in Perry Mason when he was younger, but even older when he was, Ironside was a show after Perry Mason where he was in a wheelchair. He was a detective? I think he was a
He
detective.
was
in
still a lawyer.
a lawyer.
wasn't he?
He was in a wheelchair. But my grandfather would talk. He would, as he would do that. Raymond Burr was giving the cases. And, you know, not that this isn't the part of, 50% of all comedy acts at one point, but why would that other guy even go up against him when he walked into the courtroom and saw it was Perry Mason on the other side? It was like, didn't he win one case?
He lost one.
Right, I'm saying it's the other
the
guy.
other guy,
Wasn't
yeah.
it Hamilton Berger?
I don't remember.
I believe that was his name, Hamilton Berger. And he was up against the same prosecutor every time. And then I guess at some point, I don't know how many years into the show, the writers are like, he's got to lose once. he's up against the same guy. Why wouldn't that prosecutor lose his job?
Oh, here he is again.
This is going to be a slam dunk. This guy stinks. He doesn't vet his witnesses because half of Perry Mason episodes, somewhere toward the end, somebody that was a witness or was sitting in the courtroom just stands up and goes, all right, I did it. I can't live with it anymore.
Did you watch the
luckiest lawyer of all time.
Did you watch the HBO series Perry Mason?
It was like the original one where he was a dapper kind of guy
Yeah,
from the
it was
30s.
really good.
Was it like noir?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I saw a little bit of it, and then I liked the South African thing. I don't have the bandwidth. There's too many shows,
Too many things
too
to
many
watch.
things going on. So Trump, spend the next 7 days trying to make me care. You're not going to. I care about $36 trillion in debt. I care about the fact that your big, beautiful bill, maybe it'll be great in the end, but right now it's being scored as adding $4 more trillion. That's basically 40 because we're already at 36.2 right now. That's what I care about. So keep going, Trump. Keep talking about the things on the other side of the world that all those rallies you told us that Biden was spending too much time thinking about the rest of the world. All right, it's great. It's fine. It's fine. And to everybody, oh, come on now. That man's a saint. Don't you say nothing. Are you kidding me? 5 years ago, you were talking, this thing in South Africa. America's got it. No, you just love him and wherever the hell he leads. And then if you hate Trump, he could say, he said this once, he could cure cancer. And if you hate Trump, you go, I ain't taking that. So that's the world we live in.
Do you think that the reason why he showed that video in the Oval Office was
to humiliate the president? Yeah.
I thought it was more of a negotiating tactic. Like maybe South Africa would be more likely to give a better deal to the U.S. knowing that they're grilling them about this issue. That's going on. I'm not saying I agree with the tactic.
Deal making in front of cameras is not, unless this is new and through all the history of humanity, this is the first time it's ever going to work. I'm going to go with history. Good deals are made behind the scenes because people do have to be kind of humiliated and you do have to give up stuff. You don't want to do that when you're the leader of a country in front of the world in the most famous office on the planet. It just doesn't make sense. He has this thing. He feels good. He came in here and I showed him. That's great. How did it make the debt go down? How did it address the deficit? You know, I can disagree or agree with the border policies, but I can't say it's not about this country. This ridiculous thing where if somebody gets in his ear and makes an argument, all of a sudden he's just like gung-ho. He doesn't know any more about the history of South Africa than I do, probably. But he's got Elon Musk, and he's talking, yeah, you know, we can make a lot more money there if we could just get the violence down and blah, 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 and money. And by the way, did I mention money and money and money and money? And we could do more money. You know how much money I have? I could get more money. If we could get the violence down there, we could get more money. We could get good deals. Also, if we brought our deficit down, we could have a better economy. I don't know. I'm not an economist, but I think if we got our deficit down and our debt down, I think that would help. Oh, wait a minute. That wouldn't help the average South African citizen, and I have to recognize that that's what this presidency is about, apparently.
He did take the moment not only to bash the South Africans, but he also bashed the press as well, too.
He bashes Canada, for Christ's sakes. What do you expect?
So after this video has been shown, he's sitting with the president of South Africa. The reporter for NBC and CNN, the pool reporter for All TV News, asks this question of Trump.
The Pentagon announced it would be accepting a Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One.
What are you talking about? You know, what are you talking about? You know, you gotta get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay? And it's a great thing. We're talking about a lot of other things. It's NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw. You are you're a terrible reporter.
Maybe he is a terrible reporter, but if I was president and it came time for questions, the way I'd look at it is, I'm going to answer whatever the questions are. And then maybe at the end I go, I think this is stupid, but here's the answer. Can we just concentrate on this country? Can we get to a point in this country where people aren't so internally angry and boiling inside that they throw trash on each other if you wear the opposing basketball team's jersey? And can we try to bring down I got an idea, folks. Left and right, MAGA and progressives. I've got an idea. Let's take a year and just turn the temperature down. Wouldn't that be the most helpful thing for everybody?
Okay, so I want to tell you guys about the Memorial Day tent sale at George's Spa Company. So you've been thinking about getting a hot tub or a sauna, maybe a swim spa, even a cold plunge. Those are huge these days. Well, you're not going to find a better time of year to save thousands bringing that relaxation home. Now look, the George's Spa Company Memorial Day tent sale is going to end on Memorial Day. Visit georgespacompany.com to find the showroom near you. So come on out today to save thousands at George's Spa Company's Memorial Day tent sale.
We are here with CFP Matthew Decker of the Vincent Financial Group and host of Retire ATL. And Matt, you've said that income is the outcome that matters the most in retirement. But what income streams require the most attention?
Yeah, so if you've got a pension or if you're living off of Social Security, you kind of know those income streams show up in your mailbox. That's mailbox money. It's almost like you're still working, and it doesn't really require that much attention. But most people that come into the office today, they are having to use their 401ks, their IRAs, SEP Simples, 403bs that are invested in the market to generate income. And anytime you're going to use a market-linked asset where you have to go in and decide when you're going to buy and sell to generate your income, it takes a ton more effort, energy, and attention to get that piece of the puzzle right. But it doesn't actually have to be that way.
So, Matt, the number one fear of adults in retirement is outliving their money. How do we get started building income today?
Well, you can get started today. You'd call us for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement roadmap. We want to build a GPS for you that's going to help navigate retirement, and it's going to have a focus on building and preserving income. 770-280-1488. We've got a representative standing by to talk to you right now. 770-280-1488. Our home office is in downtown Woodstock, but we are available across the metro Atlanta area to meet with you at a time and place that fits your schedule. Again, 770-280-1488 or online at retireatlradio.com.
The team at Vincent Financial Group want to help preserve your assets while building retirement income that lasts as long as you do. Call today for your complimentary retirement roadmap, 770-280-1488. And you can always get more at retireatlradio.com and join us for Retire ATL Sundays at 6 p.m. right here on WSB. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Hey, it's Belinda. When I built my home 21 years ago, I called Arrow Exterminators. And guess what? Still no bugs. Spring pests are here. Termites, mosquitoes, ants. But Arrow's got you covered with the most effective and environmentally friendly solutions available. And they offer a 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. Call 888-GO-ARROW or visit arrowexterminators.com for your free pest inspection. And tell them Belinda sent ya.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather, traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 3:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Vincent Financial. Our top local story, the Georgia teen taken into ICE custody after she was mistakenly arrested by Dalton police during a traffic stop is headed home.
Amina Arias Cristobal will be home with her family by Thursday latest, so says her attorney Dustin Miller, after an immigration judge grants her $1,500 bond.
WSB's Veronica Waters reports the 19-year-old has lived in the U.S. illegally since she was 4 years old and was facing deportation to Mexico. Governor Kemp shows support to Georgia Power's proposal, holding rates steady for 3 years.
Pointing to states like Maryland that are being forced to hike energy rates, Governor Kemp says the freeze will help Georgians.
Coupled with falling gas prices, this rate freeze will help Georgia families in a time when they need it most, after historic inflation and storms have challenged many people's day-to-day lives.
The Public Service Commission will take up the proposal in June with a vote set for July 1st. Bills could still go up next year due to storm damage costs from Hurricane Helene. From the state capitol, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Lawrenceville police are investigating after a 38-year-old man is shot and killed on Pine Valley Drive. The shooting happened just before 1 o'clock this morning. Police believe the victim and shooter knew each other. Anyone with information should call police. In the latest Oval Office clash, President Trump confronts South Africa's president with allegations whites in his country are victims of genocide.
Their heads chopped off. They died violently.
The South African president denies the allegations, telling Trump there's a minority party behind the tensions between blacks and whites. The Pentagon accepts the $400 million jet gifted by Qatar. CBS's Weijia Zhang reports from the White House. Many questions remain about the plane.
On Capitol Hill, there's a lot of questions about the legality of this and the ethics of accepting such a big gift from a foreign government.
It is 3:32. Time for live team coverage of traffic and weather in the 24-hour traffic center. Alex Williams.
Watching the brake lights around the city right now, Bill. 285 southbound jams in into cab right around Buford Highway in Doraville. That continues passing I-85 Spaghetti Junction down into Clarkston. 285 westbound, you slow right at Ashford Dunwoody Road over into Sandy Springs. Then it jams up through the I-75 interchange passing Truist Park. Southbound into town, but just about 25 minutes from the 85-400 merge, making your way south of I-20 to University Avenue. Northbound slows from Langford Parkway up to Peachtree Pine Street. And I-20 eastbound into Cobb County, a little slow through the work zone, but not terrible yet from 285 out to exit 71 Panola Road. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly sunny and breezy today. High 82. That northwest wind gusting 25 miles per hour. Lows tonight in the low 60s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny. High near 80. Friday, sunshine, morning low 55, afternoon high 76.
78 in Dallas, 80 in Sugar Hill, and 83 in McDonough. More news at 4 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Multiple contractors and estimates for your home projects? What a hassle. Instead, trust the Plus. Painting Plus.
Hi, I'm Charlie, owner of Painting Plus and the Plus family of businesses. We're reliable, fully licensed, and insured. No muss, no fuss. Trust the Plus and leave everything on your list to us.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus, siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
EMC Security.
Meet EMC Security's hero of the home.
After some break-ins in my neighborhood, it got me thinking about my family's security. A friend recommended EMC Security, so I called them. Now I have peace of mind that my family is safe without having to sign a long-term contract.
Way to go, Sarah. Be the hero of your home with no contracts, fast and reliable monitoring, and rates as low as $16.95.
EMC Security. Smart protection for a safer tomorrow.
This is Scott Slade. Nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. Like me. My doctor saw one lab work number that led to a diagnosis early enough, so I still had options. That's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the safest CT imaging option in the Southeast with 98% accuracy. Virtual Imaging's LDCT body scan can be invaluable, giving you time and options for early treatment. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. For a limited time, Virtual Imaging is offering their LDCT body scan for only $995 per scan. That's a $2,495 value. Now, appointments must be scheduled in May. There are a limited number of scans available at this price, so a few minimum requirements may apply. Don't put this off. I've done it. Call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
From house hunting to boxing up your entire life, moving is hectic. That's why when my family and I moved, we chose Scana Energy as our natural gas provider. Their dependable customer service and great options made things really easy for Mama Bear and me. Now, if only they could help me find where the Cubs put the packing tape. Oh. For a limited time, receive a $60 bill credit when you sign up. Call 1-877-GO-SCANA or visit scanaenergy.com/mover60 for details. Limited time offer. Additional terms and conditions apply.
Just a word of wisdom from your friend Mark Aram. A damaged roof doesn't always lead to an entire roof replacement project. As a full-service Atlanta roofing company, my friends at Dr. Roof offer comprehensive roof repairs that will lengthen the lifespan of your existing roof and ensure that it will continue to protect your home as it should. It's storm season. Get peace of mind from my friends at Dr. Roof. They've been in business for over 35 years, and Dr. Roof offers up to a 5-year warranty on roof repairs. Get all the info online at drroof.com.
What? She cares about a double amputee? Well, that reminds me of Hitler. I mean, what kind of world? What's it, goofy, ridiculous world we live in, where dumb people won't stop debating each other in public. Can the dumb people stop debating, please? They have a license
to debate.
They have a license to debate, and I'll be the judge. I'll decide who has the right, and I'll be good. I'll be kind. I mean, I want a good debate, so I'm gonna give the green light to lots of people who totally disagree with what I think. But can the dumb people step back for a moment? And by dumb, I just mean I heard somebody I like say this, and so I'm all in. That's what I'm talking about. Whether on the left or the right. Whether you're gonna join into a debate. Why? Have you spent years studying this? No. That politician I love said this, so I'm in 100%. If you're that person on anything from the left or the right, you're the dumb people I'm talking about. Could you take a step back?
I got 280 characters, Eric. I'm going.
That's right, yeah. That guy I love said something, so this is why. Well, what's your back? Well, that's the guy that I love said it. That's why. Ridiculous. I'm in this mood, I know, today because... Well, you talk about just waking up, reading something, and finding out that your whole life is turned upside down. As the non-official king of Roswell, Georgia, I consider
the czar of Roswell.
King. I'm the king. Come on, what are you trying to put me in line with Putin? No, I'm the king.
I'm democratically elected
I know,
president of Russia.
Sort of, kind of. Popular, I'll give you, but I don't know that you could.
98% better.
Yeah, that's
than
pretty
most.
good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Oh, your opponent's just disappearing.
He gets lucky.
No, I pick people that will not pose much of a challenge.
Yeah, but then if they do pose a challenge,
they're dead or gulag.
Yeah, I mean, allegedly, I don't know.
Novelny.
I have no problem with my neighboring cities. Sandy Springs, new to the game. We like to take them under our wing a little bit and teach them how to be a city. They've done good for themselves. Well, they've been a city now for 15 years or something. They're pretty
Feels
good.
like it, yeah.
Know how to develop things really well in there.
Yeah, so it's like, but I consider our main rival, not enemy. We're right there next to each other. We share a border. But our main rival of Roswell, Georgia, has to be Johns Creek.
Johns Creek.
Another upstart.
Yeah.
And, I consider Roswell, Georgia to be one of the greatest places on earth to live. I've lived in a lot of places. It's my favorite that I've ever lived in. And I wake up to this. What is it? U.S. News, Real Estate?
U.S. News and World Report.
The real estate section with this ridiculous claim that Johns Creek, Georgia is the best place to live in the United States of America. Now, I thought, okay, if this looks fair, maybe I'll just give a tip of the cap to my neighbors and say, we'll see you on the field next time. Because it's nice to have a good place next to you because then you don't have bad stuff coming over the border, right? So you want to be friendly with. So, okay, maybe Roswell's second.
Well, you're close to East Cobb, too, so.
Yeah. Maybe Roswell's 10th. I looked at it.
Where is it?
52. You're telling me.
Alpharetta's better than y'all. Alpharetta's 24th.
Yeah. Okay, go deal with that traffic.
They have Avalon.
Oh,
now.
isn't that great? Before I say this, I must say I have many friends in Alpharetta. But come on, that ridiculous, those crappy buildings they're putting up with that fake brick. It makes you feel like it's like Avalon or Atlantic Station. It's like, oh, it looks like a brick, but it's not. It comes in sheets. It looks like brick. It's the worst. We have a couple of those buildings in Roswell.
They're made in China, too. Prefabricated.
Well, that's what I would expect from Alpharetta and Johns Creek.
Where's the South?
Many friends at both. But let me just say this. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that Johns Creek is the better place to live in the United States. So if they were 1 and 2, I could see it. Johns Creek is a lovely place. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate Johns Creek. But it is, as the unofficial king of Roswell, let me just say, I will be writing a strongly worded letter to the United Nations.
I think you won this argument 16 years ago on a different radio
That was
show.
true. We had the mayor of Johns Creek, and the mayor of, at that point we thought mayor for life, kind of benevolent dictator of Roswell, and they had there was a slap contest because my partner Larry lived in Johns Creek at the time, and I lived in Roswell, and we had a slap off. Now I wasn't going to be slapped in the face, so I let Southside Steve take those honors for me, and. The guy, and so what we did was just ask questions about Roswell to the Roswell mayor, history of Roswell, and the history of Johns Creek to the Johns Creek mayor. And the Roswell mayor just wiped the floor with him.
Ran the table.
Yeah, Larry's face was red as can be. He was just getting smacked over and over again.
He liked it.
Oh, Steve was your proxy.
Yeah, he was
And
my proxy.
He
got hit a couple times.
Yeah.
But I remember at one point, Larry looking at the mayor of Johns Creek and saying, "Do you live in Johns Creek?"
No, I live in Milton.
So this has been settled in the past through a good old-fashioned slap-off. But apparently, U.S. News and World Report real estate section is not aware of that history.
I'm disappointed that there's no representation from the South Side. Where is the Clayton County? Where's Jonesboro?
Come on.
Where's Covington?
Come on.
Where's Douglasville? Where's
Come
Peachtree City?
on.
They're number one in boarded up buildings.
Come on.
There's no South Side representation, no West Side representation, and no
please.
East Side representation.
Oh, you can act like you're angry about that, but you know that the best suburbs are north of the perimeter. That's true. Look, where do you have more Chili's per capita? Where do you have more Olive Garden per capita?
Where do you have the most traffic per capita?
Well,
Go to the North Side.
How is Alpharetta's traffic? It's
terrible.
Terrible. Roswell has, one stretch on Roswell Road between the Chattahoochee and Canton Street that at the wrong times of day are pretty bad. But other than that, you want to go deal with that traffic in Alpharetta?
Surprised the King of Tucker over here
Why don't
isn't
you-
mad.
A threat.
Tucker's easy to get to, but it's an upstart.
Yeah.
And it's a tough economy.
Yeah. Well, you guys are. You know what? I like it. You're humble.
Yeah.
And you're proud. You both at the same time.
They-
You're
TKR.
You're
TKR.
You're humbly
Yeah.
proud.
Well, we do lead the city, I believe, in traffic calming islands in the middle of the road that'll give you a flat tire if you're not paying attention.
Well, pay attention while you're driving. All right, I
Shouldn't
gotta.
have to.
Well, you
gotta text.
You got a kid. You want cars zipping through there at 60 miles an hour? For heaven's sakes, pay attention.
Let's make it not 4-lane anymore.
When they were
traffic calming.
when they were asking about that, they consulted the King of Roswell. My apologies. I said more of those.
More of those.
Yeah.
Well, you have the
Those little
reversible
things.
lanes.
Oh, no, that one reversible lane is that's terrible.
Yes.
That is like
That's where I got in that accident when I was pregnant.
That's right. And the guy yelled at you even though you were pregnant. But
Yeah,
there's
he was a real jerk.
There's like 3 blind turns on that. I never get in that middle lane unless there's a car or two in front of me that can take the brunt of the impact. I will never ride in that middle lane if it's just me going, because there's blind corners. Like, you have no idea. I don't want to have to trust that somebody else knows how to drive that I can't see doing 50 miles an hour on the other side of that corner.
Isn't the first one by that apartment complex with the water wheel?
Yeah.
That's scary.
No.
No, that's not the first one.
No, by the time you get to the water wheel, you're like the last one.
No, I mean if you're going north.
Oh, well, yes, if you're going the
I
other
don't
way.
know which direction we're going, guys.
Southeast.
If you're leaving Roswell.
Okay, yeah, that's the last one.
Oh, okay.
No, if you're leaving Roswell, it's the first one. If
It's
you're
the
going
first
into
one.
Roswell from the river, it's the last one.
Okay.
Guys, let me just give out your address. I'll give out the address.
Yeah,
and
people
then
can,
people can
yeah,
just look it up.
you can just look
see
it up
what we're
and
talking
just see
Drop
how
off
it's going.
gifts for Eric, for the king.
Ah, my goodness. Well, let me just say this. I guess I have to. Congratulations, Johns Creek. But I'll say this. Enjoy your time in the sun. This is not over.
It pays to have the WSB radio app. Download it today and get ready for the Blitz.
Oh my God.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. 5 chances a day to win $5,000.
It's the Blitz.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 5 p.m.
Oh, that's cool.
From 95.5 WSB.
Download the WSB radio app now.
A company that you trust. Who comes to mind? Ragsdale has been a part of our home for years. They've been my go-to for a new HVAC system, blown-in insulation, and electrical work that makes life more simple. They're on time and work with my busy schedule. Right now, get up to $1,700 off a brand new Carrier home comfort system and enjoy Ragsdale's own trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty. Learn why they have a 4.9 Google rating. Start at ragsdaleair.com. Ragsdale, the name I know you can trust.
We are here with CFP and investment advisor Aaron Vincent of the Vincent Financial Group and host of Retire ATL. And Aaron, you mentioned that taxes are on sale. What exactly does that mean? And is it something we need to take advantage of right now?
Yeah, Mark, it may not feel like it right now, especially this time of year, but when you look at history, we are actually in historically low income tax rates time. If you look back, tax rates have been significantly higher. And when you look at the national debt, which most reference at around $36 trillion, but when you consider the fact that with all the unfunded liabilities like Social Security and Medicare or Medicaid, it's actually north of $100 trillion. When we look at factors like that, there's a pretty good chance that tax rates actually go significantly higher again. So yeah, you can make an argument that right now taxes are on sale.
So Aaron, what can we do right now to take advantage of these low tax rates?
If you don't have an income plan in your retirement conversations, then you actually don't have a tax plan. And that's important because if you don't have a plan for your money, guess who does? Uncle Sam's got one, and by default, you'll fall into that one. So we want to offer you a no-cost, no-obligation tax map. It's a deep dive into your retirement plan and specifically your tax strategy. From there, we'll make suggestions based on what's working or what opportunities could better fit your situation. The goal is for you to keep more of your hard-earned money while giving less to Uncle Sam. Call us at 770-280-1488. Again, that's 770-280-1488. Our home office is in downtown Woodstock, but we're available all across Metro Atlanta to meet you at a time and place that fits your schedule.
Taxes are not a seasonal conversation, and they're not going away once you retire. Take advantage of the complimentary tax map by calling the Vincent Financial Group today, 770-280-1488. That's 770-280-1488. And join us for Retire ATL, Sundays at 6 p.m. right here on WSB. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
You still want a new deck on your house, but you think you may have missed a deck building window? Well, you're wrong. Dave Baker here. At Ben Hill Renovations, deck building goes on year-round. Whether your existing deck is old, rotting, and unsafe, or you just want to upgrade your outdoor living space, now is the perfect time to get the ball rolling. Check out their new website at bhrenovations.com. Better yet, go to their showroom, speak with the designer, and see all that they have to offer up close. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. questions. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now. 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Well, he's got to give it to Trump that he does have a sense of humor. So, because I think that the president of South Africa had the funniest line.
This was a good
in that
line.
little thing, and Trump just kind of rolled with it because he knew he kind of had a good line in it. So this is after talking about Trump does the presentation to try to humiliate the president of South Africa about all the violence in front of the media, and then the first question is about the Qatari plane, and Trump goes after that person,
The NBC News reporter.
yeah, and then the South African president I thought had a pretty good line.
That idiot talks about after viewing a thing where thousands of people are dead.
I'm sorry, I don't have a plane to give you.
I wish you did. I'd take it. I would take it. If your country offered the United States Air Force a plane, I would take it.
Okay.
Can you concentrate on the problems here, like in America?
Well, we have a shortage of planes because Boeing is slow,
I
and if
understand.
we could stop the killing,
I'm
all the
just-
killing, and with an airplane, I think we could.
But
work
what
out
about
a deal.
here?
Well, I
What-
mean, if you stop the killing there, then the killing will stop here.
I'm
the
saying,
plane will come
can
here.
you? I'm talking about the plane. I'm talking
about
about
the
can
plane?
you? I'm not. I'm talking about the. Saying,
It's-
can
it's
you
a nice plane.
focus on the issues
Well,
of the
I'm
United?
trying, but did you hear that reporter? What the reporter says? Oh, yeah.
I know.
the dumb plane. Okay, well the cutter gave us
before
the plane,
that, you
Cater, whatever.
you weren't trying to
Decatur.
talk about the American problems. You were trying to talk about problems of another country.
Well, if we're going to solve our problems, which are very big with trade, like if we want rhinos and elephants here,
which
and
we,
the
of course.
horns, we cut the horns off and make beautiful ivory from it.
Your
the
son likes
piano
that.
people.
Junior likes that.
Well, the piano people, they need ivory.
Okay.
So if we're going to make more pianos in America.
So
we
after
need-
you fix South Africa, will you make a promise that you're going to turn your attention back to the United States of America? Or
Well, let's look north, okay? Zimbabwe, a lot of problems there. They got some farmers there. Look, we need them there.
Oh, you're going to start from the bottom of Africa and work your way
And
up.
then,
Okay.
when are you going to get to this continent?
Madagascar. Madagascar is. Look, the
It's really
lemurs.
steep
The
to the-
lemurs are in trouble if we don't save the lemurs. Then we'll get down to brass tacks here. I mean, I got the big beautiful bill.
Yeah, well, we got to
That
see what's
will
in there.
reduce the deficit
But
eventually.
it says eventually.
Well, I mean, they say that it's going to wreck everything and add more to it. But you got this Thomas Massey who hates this country more than
does he?
than
Does he?
anybody. Yeah,
The
Thomas
one-
Massey, the one holdout.
One
the guy thinks he's
libertarian,
Ron Paul.
one libertarian
Thinks he's-
thinker.
Right. Well, he thinks he's a Ron Paul, and Ron Paul's an old guy. He gaslights everybody with a stupid podcast, and his stupid son with his hair implants is in the Senate. What's wrong with Kentucky? Who are all these people that wreck everything?
Well, maybe they have some
Rhinos.
little libertarian spirit
Oh,
there. What's a rhino? Any Republican that disagrees with you on anything?
You know, the reality is,
what is the
that
reality?
all the MAGA people are the actual rhinos, but no one will tell you that.
That's true because
We kind of took over the
That's
party.
It's now used to be a rhino would believe in tariffs and things like
Right,
that. Things
right.
change.
If they don't fall in line with you, Trump, it's going to be.
These are articles over the last few days. Death of people. Death. Death. Horrible death. Death. I don't
Well,
Oh.
know.
look, I don't want to make too.
Broken toe.
Look, I'm sure the things. I'm sure the things that he's talking about are true. That's not my point. Or I don't know what the context is, and I don't have the bandwidth to go. Because I'm not going to have an opinion because somebody that is in power told me something. I'm just not going to. I'm not going to have an opinion. I can be wrong, but I'm not going to espouse things unless I know what the hell I'm talking about. And now all of a sudden, people who hate Trump will be against it. People who love Trump will be for it. Neither know what the hell they're talking about unless you live there. I've never lived there. I can't imagine I'm ever going to go there.
I'm ready for the panels on the arena starting up at 4.
Were you elected president of South Africa or president of the United States of
Oh,
America?
They could be the 52nd state.
Okay, great. We're sending also. Are we going to do space? What was it? Oh,
The Golden Dome.
The Golden Dome.
Not like the Golden Arches, which is also good.
Now I don't know. I'm not necessarily against that. You got to go where technology takes you. Russia and China says, you're going to take warfare into space, but you know how this works. If we don't do it, they'll do it. It's every country's run by madmen and women and have been since the beginning of time. So if a technology can be used to hurt other people, it will be pursued. And so in a weird way, when you're America, you have to do that. Otherwise, Russia and China will be up there with their missiles before you. How much will it work? I don't know. It's going to cost a ton. Yeah. But, I mean, the militarization of space is a real thing. It's going to happen. There's
Probably already has.
Well, I mean, I think that, the other space station that our media never tells us is up there.
Yeah, the Chinese space station.
Chinese space station that most Americans have no idea is up there because our media acts like it doesn't exist. They've got, they got 3D printers up there for a reason because they're trying to figure out how to build space stuff in space. Now, they're probably many years away from that. But again, when you'll hear about the Chinese space station? 10 minutes before it collides with ours. Yeah. Like, that's when you'll find, what? Like the Russia-Ukraine thing, where most of America was like, Russia borders Ukraine? Well, I have a definite opinion about it because I'm going to go with what everybody else on social media is saying.
The stories
always right.
The stories all started with, Putin's putting soldiers on the border. We need to care.
Yeah, that's where it started. It didn't start with, the fact that there were two. I'm not going to go there. Who cares? People don't. We got a little current events comedy show here. I'm not going to solve any problems, but I'm not an idiot. And I'm not going to be propagandized into crap. And so if the media tells you something 10 days before this country's involved with another country, and the first thing you heard about it through your media was 10 days earlier, you don't know anything. You don't know anything about it. And if you don't know anything about it, only an idiot has an opinion.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. But don't just take our word for it. Here's Jackie and Veronica, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Just call or click to see how much you can save today. Because when it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit ConsumerCellular.com. That's 1-888-FREEDOM or ConsumerCellular.com today. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
This is Scott Slade. Nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. Like me. My doctor saw one lab work number that led to a diagnosis early enough, so I still had options. That's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the safest CT imaging option in the Southeast with 98% accuracy. Virtual Imaging's LDCT body scan can be invaluable, giving you time and options for early treatment. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. For a limited time, Virtual Imaging is offering their LDCT body scan for only $995 per scan. That's a $2,495 value. Now, appointments must be scheduled in May. There are a limited number of scans available at this price, so a few minimum requirements may apply. Don't put this off. I've done it. Call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
You still want a new deck on your house, but you think you may have missed a deck building window? Well, you're wrong. Dave Baker here. At Ben Hill Renovations, deck building goes on year-round. Whether your existing deck is old, rotting, and unsafe, or you just want to upgrade your outdoor living space, now is the perfect time to get the ball rolling. Check out their new website at bhrenovations.com. Better yet, go to their showroom, speak with the designer, and see all that they have to offer up close. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
Hey, it's Belinda for the board-certified plastic surgeons at Marietta Plastic Surgery. I've trusted their team for years. Doctors West, McNeil, Hanna, and Biswas have been serving the Atlanta area for over 25 years with expert surgical and non-surgical care. With warmer weather on the way, are you summer ready? Marietta Plastic Surgery is here to help you look and feel your best. They now offer Awake Liposuction, a less invasive way to sculpt your body with less downtime. And their med spa still has all your go-to treatments like Botox and fillers, microneedling, Diamond Glow, hydrofacials, and Morpheus 8 for radiant, glowing skin. Looking to restore thinning hair or reshape your hairline? Marietta Plastic Surgery is the only practice in the region that offers the gold standard in hair restoration, the Foundation Aesthetic Hair Restoration Method. Visit MariettaPlasticSurgery.com to schedule your consultation today.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk. News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 4 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Hoffman Financial Group. Our top local story, it is all new this hour. Atlanta police may be getting closer to catching the man who shot and killed a Georgia Tech student Sunday night. WSB's Steve Summers reports live from Atlanta Police Headquarters with new information.
Yeah, Bill, police showed us surveillance video of the person they believe murdered that 23-year-old student in a 9th-floor hallway at the Connector Apartments on Spring Street Northwest. Problem is, you can only see this guy from the back walking away. But investigators do say now that the killer was waiting for the victim.
We're at a point where we believe this was a targeted act. We also have information that he was there previously looking for the victim in this case.
Now, the killer and the victim knew each other. Police confirmed that the victim had a criminal history. We're trying to find out what that was. The unidentified student died yesterday of a gunshot wound to the head. Now, the building doors are secure, we're told, but so there's really no word how the killer got in. Reporting live at Atlanta Police Headquarters, Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
82 degrees in Atlanta, sunshine in control for a few days with cooler temperatures. Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. A Georgia teen held by ICE is going home. WSB's Veronica Waters reports live. The girl is granted bond at a hearing today.
That's right. The family of Hamina Arias Cristobal will be posting bonds so she can come home, Bill, after an immigration judge grants the 19-year-old Dalton State student a $1,500 bond. This judge extensively reviewed Arias's case, and she finds that she is not a flight risk or a danger to the community. Government attorneys did not appeal the ruling, and Arias's legal team says she will be home by Thursday afternoon at the latest. Still, her immigration proceedings are pending. We'll find out when that's going to be and what are the next legal steps for this teen coming up. Reporting live, Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
New this hour, Microsoft, with help from the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Georgia, takes down an online marketplace where hackers buy malware to infect computers. The Luma malware was a favorite hacking tool used to steal passwords, credit cards, bank accounts, and cryptocurrency wallets. It's infected hundreds of thousands of computers worldwide between March and May. The marketplace has now been dismantled. Law enforcement agencies across the South Metro area are working together as they prepare for the annual Rick Ross Car and Bike Show.
Littering, traffic jams, and illegal parking. Those are just some of the problems that residents near the Rick Ross Car Show have experienced in past years. But South Fulton Police Chief Keith Meadows says this year will be different.
We'll be deploying almost 150 police officers to ensure that traffic congestion is at a minimum, that residents are able to get in and out of their residence freely.
Law enforcement say they will be taking a zero-tolerance approach to bad behavior. Organizers are expecting 6,000 to 8,000 people to come out for the event next month. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
A Gwinnett County firefighter is injured when a roof collapses while fighting a fire started by lightning during last night's storms.
Immediately treated and then transported to
Grady Memorial in stable condition and has since been released. Is expected to make a full recovery.
Gwinnett Fire Captain Ryan McGibbon, he says the family of 11 got out of the house on Grouse Court in Lawrenceville safely, but they will require assistance with shelter from the Red Cross. A Gainesville man is held without bond after his arrest on multiple counts of sexual exploitation of children. An investigation that started in February led to the arrest of 31-year-old Benjamin Gudmundson. B.J. Williams with the Hall County Sheriff's Office says they found disturbing images on the suspect's electronic devices.
They did an initial search and found 10 images of children engaged in sexually explicit conduct. All of those children believed to be under the age of 16.
Investigators say the suspect was uploading child sexual abuse material to a social media app. It is now 4:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Just had a crash that was in the right lane in Kennesaw, now on the right shoulder. 75 northbound Barrett Parkway exit 269, but the ride is jammed up from North Marietta Parkway. No need for an alternate there, though. 400 northbound. That volume's picked up in Sandy Springs from 285 as you make your way north past the North Springs MARTA station. 85 northbound, the delays find you right at Chamblee Tucker Road, exit 94, but the further you get up past Spaghetti Junction into Norcross, that will get better. Checking on possible new trouble, 85 northbound leaving Duluth towards Swanee, right around Sugarloaf Parkway. With the ride through downtown, checking that, it's Kobe Dawkins.
Well, 75-85 northbound jam ride starting at the Langford Parkway, getting past Spring Street. 85 south, heavy volume starting at the Georgia 400 merge. And 75 south, you start to pack in at Moores Mill Road, getting to I-20. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Clear skies for tonight. Temperatures falling into the low 60s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, mostly sunny, high near 80. Friday, sunshine, morning low 55, afternoon high 76.
It's 80 in Alpharetta, 78 in Fayetteville, 81 in Winder. More news at 4:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 2 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. You know, Tim and I think I introduced you to this, but you turned it around pretty quickly. So I've decided to have a little fun with AI. Because I think at my age, I think I'm out of here before it really starts to hurt everything. So I'm here in the beginning, and you can have some fun. And it's probably going to do some good things before it takes over. It's going to, help with the compounds, medicines, things like that, and figuring out diseases. It'll do all that kind of stuff before it just absolutely takes over and decides that humanity is a waste and gets rid of us. But I think I already will be gone at that point. So I am.
You might have an AI hospice nurse.
I'm kind of, yeah, right. Nah, maybe.
You are dying.
What a lovely,
luck with that.
What a lovely thing to hear on the way out.
You are dying.
So in messing around with AI last night, you know how we all have sort of these vivid or lucid dreams when you're a child that stick with you your whole life. I think everybody I know has one or two, and they stay with you your whole life. And there was one when I was 5 years old. Now, like any dream, when I say it, it's not going to seem like anything, but you know how dreams are. So I was 5 years old, and my bed was next to a window. There was a small alley outside the window, and then there was a drugstore next door, but it was all brick. So it was basically bed, window, alley, brick wall. And I had this lucid dream one night that scared the hell out of me. And it's going to sound ridiculous because it is ridiculous. There were 3 large giraffes standing against that brick wall, and they were craning their necks down into the window, not through the window, but like they were very menacing way. And this stuck with me for my whole life. So last night, I went to AI, the image creator, and I just completely explained the whole dream and asked it to create that whole scenario. And I had to tweak it a little bit, but I now had, and the picture that it gave me captured the moment so well. I mean, it's that AI art, so it looks like the cover of a children's novel or something, that kind of art. But
AI does have a look to it.
Yeah, and this is like really dark, and it was really, I was like, wow, that really, I showed you earlier. It's like, that is really the moment. So within like 10 minutes of me doing that, Tim Andrew goes, wow, you did the same thing, right?
Yeah.
It gave it right back to you.
And it very much looks like the dream I had.
So, you got to play around with AI, before it takes over. For Jared and for George, you may see the beginning of the end from AI, but I'm going to be gone. Joe probably.
What about me?
Nah. She's a cusper.
Are you considering me old?
No, I think you're right there in the middle. You may see something.
She has a risky lifestyle.
I don't
though.
think any. Yes, she
I want
does.
to see the end.
Why? You got to see the end. We all see the end at some point.
Once the computers get smart enough, the one thing that they won't be able to give each other is love.
Yeah.
We'll have to provide them love.
Well, it'd be a totally. Haven't you noticed the society you live in? We're already a transactional, soulless society.
Robot learns to feel.
All right, let's do this.
It's time for Wellness Wednesday with Dr. Joe.
AI could bring me back.
Yes.
I died. Yeah, that's right.
Whoever it is you're losing there on the table. All right, Dr. Joe, how has your week of nutrition and chiropractic been?
Excellent, as a matter of fact.
Is that a
Got some
word, chiropractic?
New supplements coming in, and
It's always new supplements. How many supplements can a body take?
Well, there's different
I'm
things.
taking
different
like a
needs.
shelf full every morning. It's
That's
not
good.
it's all
That's
over
right.
the
What you
counter.
were about to say.
I'm taking a
shelfful.
shelf.
Full.
It's a
Okay.
shelf full.
Yes, well, that's why you look so young and healthy. That's
Oh
why.
yeah, that's why.
It's your
and
birth-
walking around, people go, "That man doesn't look a day over 65."
That's
and I say,
right.
"Well, I'm about to
You're
turn
not.
61."
Well, it's your birthday eve today.
It's my birthday's on. Is my birthday on Memorial Day this year?
It is.
Yeah.
It's on Monday.
Yeah.
So that means nobody can come to my house because everybody's out of town.
No, that's good. That's why you
So-
planned it this way, right? Yeah.
Actually, I haven't mentioned this yet because I usually don't mention these sort of things, but I think it's going to go well. So, the sister that I've never met is going to come through Atlanta the following Friday, and everybody that I know is out of town on Memorial Day, so we're just going to have kind of a cookout birthday party kind of thing.
Nice.
And hopefully we'll all get along. There'll be some of it like within 10 minutes. We're like, oh God, I can't stand each other.
I'm out of here. She's southerner or northerner?
Louisiana.
Okay.
But she seems really cool.
I'm out of here.
Oh, she's gonna have some
Sounds like
Cajun.
you.
She's gonna sound like a coach.
Southern.
What if she sounds like Coach O or something like that?
Oh, I'm out of here. Well, she wrote in a text like, we didn't want to stay too long and, subject you to us crazy Louisianans. But I had to remind her I was a crazy Louisianan
That's
for
right.
a few years of my life. So
Why haven't you met her?
because after my dad left, he got together with her mom, and
Dang.
I didn't know her. So there you go. But we've had some very good text exchanges. I'm looking forward to it. And there's actually a chance that another sister that I've never met might come as well. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Wow.
She's
How many
older. She's
siblings
from a
do you
marriage.
have?
She's from a marriage before my mother. What?
How many siblings do you have, including half siblings?
If I put the ones that I know,
No, all of them now.
well, I mean the ones that I know, meaning I'm
Know of.
aware of.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I am aware of. Now, there's one that I heard about when I was a kid. Could be another dude out there. So we'll throw him in. Okay. So
Okay.
there's the four brothers that I know, and then a fifth brother that I don't know.
Okay.
And then there's the sister that I know, and three sisters that I don't know. Two sisters before I was born, and Kristen from Louisiana, the one I'll definitely meet next
And are
week.
they from some are from your mom, some are from your dad?
No.
And some are from both?
No. The ones that I don't know are all from my dad with different marriages.
Do they use Hessler or von Hessler?
Then I don't. Well, they're girls, so they have different. I don't know. I don't know about the older ones. The one I'm going to
What if
meet
their maiden name
has a
if they're
married
married?
name, so I don't know. No, I don't think that he. I don't think he would give the Von to the girls.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's a middle name.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I have no idea.
Unless the first name's Helga. Helga Von.
There's a good starting question right there.
Yeah.
What's your middle name? What's your middle name?
What's your name?
Well, I know her name.
Not her
But,
whole name.
I know her. Yeah, I know her first name and her last name, which is
You
a
don't
married
know her
name.
whole name.
Okay, maybe I don't. What are you trying to say? Maybe you. Maybe I should-
These are questions you will find the answers to.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be like I'm gonna put him in that chair like that South African president and just grill him. By the way, I'm thinking that very soon these presidents around they're just gonna stop doing this, right?
Yeah.
I think I have a notion, and we'll get to all the stuff. I'm sorry, Dr. Joe, but I think I have a notion of I'm putting the whole tariff things together, so that they have to come to him to make a deal, and then he can put them on display in front of everybody, and basically humiliate them unless they come with so many flowers for him. See, if I was the advisor to the South African president, it's like, before you get out there, you get in this guy's ear and you tell him how wonderful he is, and how great he is, and how awesome he is, and you'll be tiptoeing through the tulips by the time you get out in front of the cameras. What, George?
I don't know if he was always going to show this video, but there was a moment where this woman asks, is there anything that they could tell you or show you to convince you that there's not a white genocide going on in South Africa? And the South African president goes, I can answer that. He's just got to come and listen to my people. And that's when Trump goes, all right, turn the lights down. Show the video.
Okay, all right. If you're going to come to America over the next 4 years, just get ready. If you want something, just bring stuff. Give him stuff. He loves to get stuff. Give him what. That's what I would do.
Well,
that's what I would do.
A hand-stitched wallet.
It's not much.
It's not a plane. Not a plane, but
Well, there's a plane on it.
All right. Let's get the first. Let's get the first headline, at least, for Dr. Joe for me. And then we're going to stop talking about all the politics. I'm tired of it.
Well, I'm screwed with this one, if this is true here. From National Geographic, apparently scientists are saying that over-the-counter allergy medicine may raise your dementia risk.
By 54%.
Yes.
By the way, that same ingredient is in sleeping pills. And I guys, enjoy me while you know me, because I'm not going to be here long, even when I'm here. Because if it's 54%, this particular ingredient,
diphenhydramine, right? Am I saying it right?
It's like
diphenhydramine.
It's like been part of my adult diet. So enjoy my brain while it's still here. It's obviously not going to last long. We'll talk more about that when we get back. Good afternoon to Alex Williams. Alex is watching delays on 285 through DeKalb.
Hey, good afternoon, Eric and gang. Yeah, watching the brake lights really fill in tough this afternoon. 285 eastbound stacks in from Chamblee, Dunwoody for the ride over to I-85 Spaghetti Junction. No relief once you make the change to the southbound commute on 285. You stay stacked and packed down to Highway 78, the Stone Mountain Freeway. North side perimeter, 285 westbound. You'll slow Ashford, Dunwoody Road over to Roswell Road and Sandy Springs. That's exit 25. Then seeing some north and southbound delays on the west side perimeter. Inner and outer loop on and off the brakes between the Smyrna Bindings area and I-20, the West Freeway. Also picked up some trouble on I-85 in Gwinnett County. Kobe Dawkins.
Going northbound right at Sugarloaf Parkway, exit 108. That crash is knocking out your HOT lane, seeing delays back to Highway 316. And this report is sponsored by Purple Mattress. Purple mattresses and pillows are up to 75% off for a limited time. Stop by their showroom at the outlet shops at Atlanta this weekend for amazing deals. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
When you need to know.
This story is developing in Atlanta.
When you want to know.
Severe weather is on its way.
When you have to know.
We'll alert you as soon as this closure clears.
Get notifications
from your source for news.
Get the WSB radio app.
Download it from your app store today.
If critters are creeping in your attic, better call Breda to kick those critters out. With the Breda Wildlife Guarantee, if they return, you're covered at no additional cost.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Mom and Dad seem different after a European-style holiday on MSC Cruises.
Call us Cloud and Yvette.
The ship had restaurants, shops, and nightlife.
La Galleria.
And of course, American touches, like an aqua park and a sweets shop.
American je ne sais quoi.
Mom, you're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Kevin.
Book now and save up to 40% off, plus kids sail free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Looking to get organized in style? The brand new Artisan Custom Closet showroom is now open near Trilla Studios in Fayetteville. Come experience the Artisan difference. Meet with a designer for your free consultation and start your custom project today. See more at artisancustomclosets.com.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Here's a fresh deal on steaks. USDA Choice Boneless Ribeye Steaks in the family pack are $10.99 a pound with digital coupon. Limit 5. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Summertime means lots of home time, so give your family a clean start with help from Zerorez. Why settle for old school chemicals and harsh soaps when you can enjoy ZR water technology for carpets that stay cleaner longer? Right now, you can get 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $129. That is 3 rooms for $129. Mention me, Chris Chandler, to secure this deal or book online at ZerorezAtlanta.com and ask about Zerorez commercial cleaning too. Zerorez, all they leave is clean.
That's your garage door. Almost broken, but technically not broken yet. And you know the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So you don't fix it, 'cause it ain't broke. And it gets worse. Until one day, 2 a.m., raining alligators, carload full of dry cleaning, you push the button, and out of nowhere, guess what's broke? Your garage door. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. A garage door that's almost broken can actually do more damage than one that's fully broke. Jammed up parts put an extra strain on the motor, rollers out of whack stress the tracks and the belts. Fix it early while it's still a simple repair and before your car gets locked out or locked in. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come over and make it right. Because if it's almost broke, you fix it.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
What was that, Eric?
There was a salutation. Much like bodacious greetings. Somebody wrote me a letter like that in the 80s and started that. It said, bodacious greetings. I was like, what the hell?
Was that Hank Williams Jr.?
Just a bodacious greetings.
Would you just rip it up? You're like,
something went wrong with this guy. I didn't even read it. All right, so what is the you would know and you'll say it better than Jared. What is the exact ingredient that's in Benadryl, Sominex? It's not in Autumn. You just said it's not in the allergy one that you take.
it's not in Zyrtec.
Yeah.
And then Tim says it's not in Claritin. So
Thank goodness.
There you go.
So
what about
I'm
Allegra? Because I took that for a long time.
Yep, it's in Allegra.
Oh no.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Or let me just Benadryl. No, but people I don't know how much of this stuff you have to. All I know is that this ingredient that supposedly makes you 54% more likely to get dementia and Alzheimer's is in the drug that I take a lot in my adult life. So I'm done.
You're done.
If this is true, I'm done.
Well, Jared's eyeing up
Turns
your
you
spot
on.
up there. You know, he's
It's the Sominex and stuff. I don't get to sleep. So and I get that thing where you force it to happen. So if it gets to be like this, all started when I was on mornings and you had to wake up at like 4:30 and then be ready to go at 6 a.m. And so sometimes if it gets to like 11:30 midnight, then you start thinking, I'm never gonna. Tomorrow's show's gonna be terrible. And then next thing you're looking, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. So after that happens a couple of times, I'm not gonna let that happen.
Nope, I'm gonna drug myself.
What's the problem with having Sominex? Why? There's no problem there except so if you want to ask me questions, do it within the next 5 years.
Yeah. Other than that,
why won't they take it off the market if there's such an overwhelming?
This is a new study.
Oh, it's not in Allegra, just FYI.
Okay, good.
It's
you guys lied to me.
What's the name of the
diphenhydramine? Yeah.
And it's a weird, like when you take Sominex, it is a weird thing where you do go to sleep, but your body actually gets agitated along the way. You know, like you get like the what do you call the leg thing? Where
restless leg, or you get antsy. My mother used to call it.
Yeah. So it's a weird thing. It puts you to sleep, but it also like I quite often find that I want to like stretch my legs.
Yeah.
Because some kind of weird feeling is happening, and if I stretch my legs, so my wife's shorter, so I have more legs. I can
go wrap
by the time
around,
her body stops, I still have plenty of room that I can take over the mattress of my legs when I stretch them out. But I should have known that was a bad thing. But I'm kind of screwed if this is true, I think.
Well, you can reverse it. The brain has plasticity. It can heal a lot of things.
Oh, I'm done with it. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
After reading this article, I'm going to figure something else out. But,
melatonin.
But I'm probably all too far along at this point.
Chamomile, melatonin. There's a lot of things.
Have
you
I
can
mentioned
do.
my birthday enough? I'm going to be 61.
I
in a
know.
week. So aren't I too far in? Is it really gonna
it's
turn
never
around?
too late.
I've heard that magnesium is good for sleeping too.
Magnesium 3 and 8. Yes, the magnesium 3 and 8 from the head up. The other magnesium's from the head down.
You know what? I'm told the melatonin works sometimes. But I've heard there's downsides to that.
I don't
as
like
well.
melatonin. I've tried it.
The problem with melatonin,
It's weird with your stomach.
It's the next day. So like you sleep.
Oh, you get
it's-
a hangover.
Yeah.
It's
What? You're like crazy.
A little bit.
I guess the
No,
hangover's
I
a good way
take
to
the kids' melatonin. I take
Oh.
like 1 milligram, and it's no bigs, and it puts you right
Jeez.
to sleep, and it's great.
Let's laugh at her. She's a lightweight.
Yeah.
She's a lightweight.
I got to take the whole bottle.
Yeah.
What's so weird about it though is that like after you take the normal adult dosage,
That's
Adult?
10 milligrams sometimes. So
Adult-
sometimes maybe you're just taking too much.
Can you spell that? ADOLT? Adult.
adult. Excuse me, I just used to say the you
Oh,
northern adult.
Adult.
Say seagull.
Seagull.
Yeah, adult.
Adult. Seagull.
Thank you. Not adult.
Seagull.
I mean,
Seagull.
Got to bring that Yankee talk here. Now the
Yeah, you Yankee.
yeah, I got you guys.
Talk right. Huh?
Quiet down, Tar Heel.
Yeah.
No, but what I think is interesting though, Dr. Joe, you have to explain this is when you take the melatonin gummy, the next day I don't sleep as well after
Yeah.
taking it,
Uh-huh.
and it's like I pull from like some kind of sleep reserves.
Is
or
it like the
something
Molly?
that.
Is it like the Molly? Once you pull that out,
That's
it takes a while for it to
it-
build back up?
That's what it is. Yeah, that is kind of similar. Yeah, your body down regulates, and so now you have to. Yeah, you can't get as high as you did the
just
first
take more
time.
the next day,
Take
right?
more, that's
Yeah,
right.
just keep,
You gotta start with less.
exactly.
I think this is the lesson we're learning. The adult dosage can be like 10 milligrams.
Yes,
and I'll
okay.
take 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Okay, now, but what's the adult?
Adult.
That's what I'm saying. 10
recommend?
milligrams.
No, you said adult.
We
I
need
want to know what's
adult.
the adult.
Oh,
That's different.
That's
That's
like
exactly-
whatever handful, bud.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
an
an
adult.
adult.
I take the whole damn thing.
But again, it's not intended for long-term use. And
Of
no matter
course.
what you're doing, you keep doing it.
I knew. I mean, I always knew. But
Yes.
there's always the next day, and there's another show,
Yes,
and there's always, I got to be,
How about Xanax?
There you go. Try that.
Xannies.
No side effects there.
Maybe just a little H.
The horse?
Just a little
Talking
H.
about climbing up on the horse?
I mean, chase
You'll
the
never wake
dragon.
up. I got a
Go to
feeling.
bed.
I got a feeling if I climb on the horse, the next
Yeah.
show is going to be bad, whether I get
I
sleep or
see,
not.
Yeah.
I see so many sleepy people in downtown Baltimore.
Mm-hmm. There
I
seem,
could- it
yeah,
works.
Seems to work.
Seems to work for them.
$10 a hit. Yeah. So.
A little fentanyl.
Hello, WSB. I'd like to call to complain. You got shows on the air that are giving out recommendations that people take heroin.
You just wake up with a little, a little booger sugar.
Now-
and you're on your way.
Now, my name is whatever my name is, and I have zero sense of humor, and I just wanted to register my complaint. I do not believe that people on the air should be given advice to take heroin to go to sleep at night. And then our poor boss has got to be like, yes, I understand, but I don't care.
I'll speak to him about that right away. Yes.
All right. Alex Williams says it's a full house through downtown.
Yeah, not much room to move if you're trying to make your way southbound into the heart of the city, Eric. 85 south delays start just below North Druid Hill. 75 right around Howell Mill, Northside Drive, exit 252. Going to take you about 27 minutes from there to get down to I-20 with northbound slow. Highway 166 up past Freedom Parkway. DOT checking on new trouble, as are we. 75 south in Marietta before Delk Road, exit 261. Also watching some brake lights on I-20 heading out toward the west side of town, Kobe Dawkins.
Yeah, I-20 westbound. You're on and off the brakes leaving the perimeter. I-285 getting past Thornton Road. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Hey, it's Belinda. You know, when I built my home 21 years ago, I made one of the best decisions ever. I called Arrow Exterminators, and because of them, I still don't have bugs. Right now, termites are swarming, mosquitoes are buzzing, and ants are biting. Yep, it's spring, and so there are pests. Don't let pests ruin your spring. Protect your home and yard with Arrow's proven pest control solutions. Arrow Exterminators uses the most effective and environmentally friendly solutions available. Plus, they offer a 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. It's that dedication to quality and care that's kept them family-owned for over 61 years. Get started today with a free home or business pest inspection. Just call 888-GO-ARROW or visit them online at arrowexterminators.com and tell them Belinda sent you. Trust me, you'll be glad you did.
If I said to focus your energy, where would you start? Let's say you run a business, a school campus, a hospital, or a government facility. Finding ways to save can be overwhelming, but Georgia Power has energy efficiency tips and rebates to help. Things like improving lighting with LEDs, making HVAC upgrades, adding building controls, and more. Look, you've got a business to run and numbers to hit. Georgia Power can help you focus your energy where it matters most. Learn more at georgiapower.com/biz.
This is Scott Slade. Nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. Like me. My doctor saw one lab work number that led to a diagnosis early enough, so I still had options. That's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the safest CT imaging option in the Southeast with 98% accuracy. Virtual Imaging's LDCT body scan can be invaluable, giving you time and options for early treatment. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. For a limited time, Virtual Imaging is offering their LDCT body scan for only $995 per scan. That's a $2,495 value. Appointments must be scheduled in May. There are a limited number of scans available at this price, so a few minimum requirements may apply. Don't put this off. I've done it. Call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer. With experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
Preparing to sell your home can be costly and time-consuming. Skip the hassles of a traditional home sale and sell your home stress-free with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Say goodbye to the stress that comes with showings, open houses, and costly home repairs. My friends at Mark Spain Real Estate will sell your home fast and for maximum value. If you're thinking about selling your home, you can receive an all-cash guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Listen to what their client Tyra had to say. Thanks to Mark Spain Real Estate, our home had several cash offers within 24 hours of it being on the market, and we closed in less than a month. With their guidance, the transaction was more seamless than we had ever hoped. Selling your home is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make, so who you work with matters. With over 12,500 five-star reviews, trust the top real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home for top dollar. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather, traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 4:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by D. Geller & Son Jewelers. Our top local story, a Georgia college student is heading home after she was taken into custody by ICE. 19-year-old Hamina Arias Cristobal is granted bond by an immigration judge today.
Arias has been in ICE custody nearly 3 weeks after a traffic stop in Dalton. She was mistakenly pulled over, but later detained because she's undocumented. She was 4 years old when her family came to America.
WSB's Veronica Waters reports the girl should be going home tomorrow. Bond is set at $1,500 and the government waives its appeal. It is 82 degrees in Atlanta after the storms last night. We are in for several nice days. Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. Atlanta police hope the public can help them track down a person of interest in the shooting death of a Georgia Tech student. That student was shot in the head at the Connector Apartments on Spring Street Sunday night. Police today are sharing a video of a man walking down a 9th-floor hallway who they believe was involved in that shooting.
We're at a point where we believe this was a targeted act.
Anyone with information on the case could be eligible for a $5,000 reward from Crime Stoppers. Georgia Power's proposed 3-year rate freeze gets support from the governor.
Saying the plan will help Georgia families with economic challenges, Governor Kemp says the state is an outlier.
While other states are raising their rates to make ends meet, we are freezing ours because of smart choices by our utility providers, the people you see here beside me, and many other leaders around the state.
The state's Public Service Commission will have the final say. A vote is expected July 1st. Even if the plan is approved, customers could still see new charges on their bills due to storm damage costs from Hurricane Helene. From the state capitol, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
A Gwinnett County firefighter is recovering from injuries suffered battling a house fire in Lawrenceville caused by a lightning strike.
The call came in around 2 a.m. as the owners said they were evacuating because lightning had struck their house. Gwinnett Fire Captain Ryan McGibbon says crews entered the home on Grouse Court.
Shortly after the first firefighter entered, the roof collapsed. This resulted in the firefighter having to be assisted out of the house by fellow crew members.
The firefighter was transported to Grady Hospital. He has since been released and will make a full recovery. The fire was extinguished, but the family of 11 now displaced. They're getting assistance from the Red Cross. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
A tense exchange at the White House today as President Trump meets with the South African president.
It began with compliments, but quickly changed when President Trump played a video furthering allegations of genocide against white South African farmers.
Burial sites all over the place.
He also produced a pile of printed news articles.
Death, death.
South African President Cyril Ramaphosa kept his composure even as he pushed back, saying the problem is crime, not racism.
People who do get killed, unfortunately through criminal activity, are not only white.
Adding he is willing to talk about these and other issues, including trade. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth accepts a gifted Boeing 747 from Qatar that President Trump will use as Air Force One. CBS's Eleanor Watson is at the Pentagon.
The Pentagon said in a statement it has accepted the jet and the Air Force is working on retrofitting it with the equipment necessary for the plane to serve as a mobile command center. The Air Force is preparing to issue a contract to begin what officials have called, quote, significant modifications, but the details, including the cost and the timeline, are expected to remain classified.
Trump has defended the gift as a way to save tax dollars. Now, WSB Money Update, a rough day for investors as stocks finish sharply lower. The Dow plunges over 800 points. The S&P and NASDAQ also down about 1.5% on the day. A new Bankrate survey finds most Americans say they plan to spend less this year on travel, eating out, and live entertainment.
There's a really interesting disconnect going on right now between what people say and what they do.
Ted Rossman with Bankrate says what people are saying is very negative, but the actual data has been much more positive when it comes to consumer spending. It is 4:34. Time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple Team Traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Throwing up the yellow flag in Marietta for this travel advisory bill. 3 left lanes knocked out. 75 southbound before Delk Road, exit 261. Already slow back to North Marietta Parkway. You can use Highway 41 Cobb Parkway as an alternate. Heads up in Dorville. Got a stall partially in the left lane. 285 eastbound, the Interloop Beaver Highway, exit 32. Just adding to the brake lights as you make the commute out of Dunwoody. 85 northbound's getting slower now from Shallowford Road, passing 285 Spaghetti Junction, heading up into Norcross. What's the story on Georgia 400, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, it's definitely sluggish. Georgia 400 northbound starting at the perimeter, getting to Northridge Road, and then those rides pick up again, getting into Alpharetta, nearing Old Milton Parkway, getting past Windward Parkway. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Clear skies for this evening. Temperatures falling to the upper 50s, low 60s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, mostly sunny, high near 80. Friday, sunshine, morning lows in the mid-50s, daytime high 76.
82 in Stone Mountain, 80 in Jonesboro, 81 in Smyrna. More news at 5 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
The attorneys at Steel Horse Law meet directly with you. SteelHorseLaw.com.
When everyone in the family wants something different from this year's vacation, there's only one thing to do. Plan for Pigeon Forge. From gorgeous mountain views, shows, and shopping for leisure lovers to coasters, a 200-foot swing, and hundreds more rides for adventure seekers. Plus Dollywood's epic array of fun. There's plenty of variety for the whole family, all in one place. Unique experiences, quality time, and memories for years to come. Find your personal favorites. Plan your getaway at mypigeonforge.com.
Yeah, I don't care.
Don't care about what?
Whatever it is that's keeping people up at night.
Well, it's not the Sominex. Apparently it's putting you to sleep. So
That's right. And then that'll lead me to a point at 54% likely to not be aware of much a few years from now. So, I think I'm gonna go with this I don't care thing.
Okay.
Well, do you really not care? Well, maybe I do, but there's the whole part of, can I do anything about it? No?
I think so.
And do I have 17 lives or just one? Just one? All right, as long as I can't do anything about it and my belly's full, I think I'm just going to not care about
That's it.
a lot of things.
You got kids to change your diapers, so you're good.
Yeah,
Why doesn't anywhere say how much you need to have taken or ingested in your life?
Well, there's no way that they're not talking about me because I have taken a lot. If it's somebody who's taken more of the, what's it called again? Diphenyl, whatever.
Yeah,
you got to look at it.
No, I just got distracted.
Oh yeah, you distracted the entire city with your.
I did, yes.
Diphen. What is it? Diphen. What's the name of the drug?
Dauphinoise.
What's the name of
Diphenhydramine. Yeah, that one.
Okay,
that one.
Do you not have it in front of you? So, that one that's in Sominex and everything. There's no. If it doesn't affect me or if I'm not in that 54%, almost no one is. Let me just put it that way.
Oh, you're
you're
the poster child for
I have
this,
had
huh?
a lot of that in my body.
Well, now
in my
is
life.
your chance, Eric, to do your diphenhydramine cleanse. That's what you need to do for the next 5 years.
I'm never doing it again after reading this.
Yeah.
And then I'll get no sleep, and 10 years later I'll read that. Oh, that was a phony study.
Yeah,
and
lied.
Should have been taking
Just
it
go
the
to
whole
bed.
time.
Go back to the whiskey. That whiskey's the
Yeah,
best way to go to
here's
sleep.
the problem. The whiskey makes the prostate bark. You
That's
know, you
right.
get old.
Yeah,
There's can't. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a young prostate. He doesn't know about
he
this
doesn't
stuff
know.
yet. He thinks I'm invincible.
Everything is.
yeah.
The older you get, it's like evolution. I don't know. It should be better for the men because we can still procreate. Right. But you'd think not evolution, but the maturation.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think that it would want, hey, this guy can still procreate. We want him to, be happy a lot and not have so many pains.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure I'm doing a lot better than others. But you can't, when you get a little bit older, you can't just go, oh, I won't do that. I'll do this, because it turns out that this gives you pain too. Yeah. Really, the best thing to do is just not do anything but water. And really good food for you.
Right, good filtered
But who
water
wants
or
to
something.
live like that?
Well, yes,
who wants to live
water's
like
not
that?
going to put you to sleep.
No, but it would over time. A better diet probably would actually help with everything.
Uh-huh.
But, cheesecake tastes good. I didn't invent that. I didn't. It's not my fault.
I'll come up with a sleep supplement for you. Don't worry.
Oh,
about it.
for heaven's sake.
Oh, it'll be great. It'll work on you. You'll feel fantastic.
See results right
Am
in the
I going
office.
to bed with Dr. Joe every night?
I'm going to come into your room. I'm going to rub your legs. See if you're restless.
My wife might have questions. All right,
She can watch.
What's next?
Like Diddy's girlfriend. She can watch.
No, Diddy did the watching.
Well, then
The
you
girlfriend
can
was
watch.
Lots of baby oil involved.
Baby, what was the one I heard? They had like a veil, like a burqa.
What?
I guess it wanted because he knew that was being videoed, and so he chose to cover his face while he's watching his wife, whatever, with a burqa. That's what I read.
He's
came
kinky,
out.
this Diddy.
I'm getting that.
Yeah, she watched him do stuff too because they hired
Oh.
prostitutes.
Oh, but Tim just thought of something that hadn't occurred to me. Yeah, you're right. I think he does have a fetish or two. I think
so.
he's a little bit on the kinky.
Aw,
side.
come on, he's a guy.
It might be honest.
New insight, yes.
I don't have the energy. Oh my goodness, we plan. I'm still not over
That's what the
planning.
drugs are for.
I guess. Yeah. But I mean, when we had to plan that party last year, when everybody came, I'm still not over that.
Yeah, you're still recuperating from
still
that, right?
recuperating
Yeah.
from that one party. That's just a lot. It's a lot.
And it wasn't even freaky.
Yeah.
Well, not till late.
Oh, that's right. I left early.
You left early because you're Tim Andrews.
And ghosted.
It got crazy.
The pool got weird.
Oh, yeah.
Believe me, it had to be drained. And
Yeah, the baby oil on the pool and it's slippery on
apparently
the tile.
it's
and
not good. I thought the chlorine would break it up, but we overwhelmed the chlorine is what happened, I guess. All right, what's next?
All right, a new study published on May 19th in Scientific Reports has found that over half of people...
Scientific Reports? This sounds like something that was made up for that's a real thing?
Yeah, apparently.
Scientific Reports.
Says. There are some Harvard scientists that are cited in this article.
Uh-oh, Trump, Harvard scientist.
We're cutting all their money. It's all guesswork.
Their conclusion is that over half of people hit the snooze button in the morning, and there are 4 tips to help break that habit of hitting the snooze button.
Do you know what
Why
those
do I need to break that?
Yeah.
Well, because maybe you should just
sleep
get
longer.
up.
Says who?
Because, well, it's not a good idea to keep hitting the snooze button.
We'll keep hitting it. Okay, but I get up. I hit it once.
Well,
Come at me, Harvard.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Don't tell me how to wake up.
All
That's right.
Look, it's just, if you want to live your life that way.
Well, you're getting your good sleep early in the morning. And if you set a snooze button, that means you say, okay, I'm going to give myself 10 more minutes. Just give yourself the 10 more minutes and then get out of bed.
Well,
Sometimes I don't know if I need the other 10.
Yeah.
You always do. Just assume.
And
So,
then,
like,
go to bed
6:10,
10 minutes
I think.
earlier.
That would help too.
I feel like these are very common things to think about here. It says, number 1, set your alarm for the latest possible time, as Dr. Joe was alluding to there.
Oh!
Then get out.
Wow! Man, I'm glad
Don't they think I'm already doing that?
That's why Trump cut off the funding.
Hey,
yeah.
let's just, man, thank God we have those Harvard researchers.
Go to bed.
Then it says, get out of bed when the alarm goes off.
That is
What?
true. By the way,
I stay in bed when I thought that.
can I tell you this? I know this. I know
Autumn
this.
is still in bed.
No, I know this. I know she's in bed right now.
I work from home.
I know this from having to get up from morning shows for so many years. No matter how tired you feel when it rings, just get up. I used to always say to myself, get the 2 feet on the floor and have one follow the
Yes.
other. Before you know it, you're in the middle of the shower, and the extra 10 minutes or 15 minutes wasn't going to do anything but make your morning a little more harried. By the time you're in the middle of the shower, you're awake, and you're not going to go back to bed after the shower unless you're really lazy. So I think that's what I trained myself to do. No matter how tired, thing rings, immediately swing those feet to the floor, stand up, and then just lumber. And somewhere in the middle of the shower. Yeah. Somewhere in the middle of the shower, you'll become a person.
Wake up
one foot in
front of the other. And soon you'll be walking through the door. Just one foot in front of the other.
Wake up gradually, like a queen.
Oh, she has to one of those
like,
where the light comes on slowly and birds chirp. One
Birds
of those
pull
alarms.
a blanket away.
Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh, it's Snow White.
All right, Disney princess, you're late for everything.
I'm not though, because I get my kids to school on time.
Oh, because you take care of your kids.
I take
Everybody
care of my
else.
kids.
Heck with them.
My favorite one is I put food on the table. My
That's
kids
right.
are fit. It's like,
Yeah.
and
it's
Well,
McDonald's.
it's like what's that? Chris Rock.
bare minimum.
Like Chris
Give
Rock
them
was like,
food.
yeah,
I
that's
put
your,
food up. Yeah,
that's your job. So you don't brag.
okay.
You don't
What do you
brag
want, a
about. So what? I think we've exhausted this one.
Again, so there's the first two things. It says avoid going on your phone.
Good
when
hosting there. Whatever.
Well, this article's dumb.
Spike Milligan.
That it says just the
Milligan. What's wrong with you?
A mulligan?
Spike Milligan. You ever hear him?
Yeah, I remember that.
He was like
Gulliver?
no, he would make these. He was a British comedian.
Oh, okay.
And he would make these. He would go.
Oh, there you go. See, you did it.
I think he was like a one man band. I can make these noises.
Like you just did.
But he had like a thing on him.
Oh.
And then he had like a honka. You can do that on him. I'll go. Well, hold on. There you go.
I don't think other radio
This
shows
is
are
quality
doing that.
radio. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you, there's no other radio show in the world that did that.
This is why we're number 2. We got to get
I
to
know.
number 1. Come
I know.
on, you know.
Well, I'm trying. You want to get to
We're a
number
different
1?
kind of
Yeah.
village.
What are you saying? I need to get out of the way and just the honkas take
Just the
over? Is that
all
what you're saying?
4 hours of honka.
I knew it was gonna be a honka coup. A honka coup.
Yeah, this article is stupid. If you have trouble getting out of bed, then you got to figure out a way to get out of bed.
Oh, there you go. That's some
Whoa,
good advice.
you know what? Bravo,
You know
Autumn,
what?
bravo.
I'm not.
what?
Hey, you know what? I'm not making an article about
Get
it.
your
You should
act
just
together.
Be an adult and be like, yo, I have a really hard time getting out of bed. I need to do something about that, and not like, oh, thank God this article came out that I read.
Can I
And help
confess?
me get out of bed.
Can I confess that I've been maybe shading the truth a little bit? I don't ever have a snooze thing, but I do set my like a 7:30, 8, and then 9. And then depending on my...
That's kind of like a snooze.
No,
That's a snooze adjacent. Snooze adjacent. That's damn close.
I think you're cheating on that one, yeah.
No, I don't know what you people are talking. What is this, a persecution? What am I, in the Oval Office?
Yeah.
I came here as a
Play
friend.
the video, Jerry.
Yeah, here's the video, Eric. It says here that at 8 a.m. you had only one alarm.
Alex Williams. Here's a friend. Here's a friend I can
toss.
turn to.
Grill him, Alex.
Alex Williams says there's a travel advisory on 75 in Marietta.
Nothing but the truth from the traffic center, Eric. We're watching this crash right now in up to 3 left lanes, 75 southbound before Delk Road, exit 261. You're stacked up back toward Highway 5. Highway 41 Cobb Parkway will get you around that. Trying to head up toward Gwinnett County, 85 northbound slows from Chamblee Tucker up toward Beaver Ruin Road. Earlier trouble we had up in Duluth, 85 north at Sugarloaf Parkway. That has since cleared, but we've uncovered new trouble on 285, Kobe Dawkins.
And it's going westbound, 285 westbound. That's the outer loop at New Northside Drive, exit 22. It's a crash. It knocks out one right lane, adding to the delays all the way back into Dunwoody. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Listening to 95.5 WSB pays.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
That is awesome. 5 chances a day to win $5,000.
Download the WSB app. Your next chance to win is coming up at 5 p.m.
Oh my God.
From 95.5 WSB.
Have you gotten your grilling preparations and fixins for Memorial Day? It's coming up. I've got mine from Omaha Steaks, and you should too, because during the Memorial Day sale, you get 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. And listen, you're going to get an extra $35 off with promo code ERIC, E-R-I-C-K, at checkout. Just look for the promo code box, put in my name, Eric. You'll get $35 off and already 50% off site-wide. So I loaded up on hamburgers and the gourmet jumbo franks. Of course, my wife loves the caramel apple tartlets. But go load up your cart with deliciousness. Whatever you want, 50% off site-wide at Omaha Steaks for Memorial Day. It is deliciousness delivered to your door. I've already got my order in. I did save you guys some food, so go check it out. OmahaSteaks.com, 50% off site-wide. The Memorial Day sale happening right now. Use promo code ERIC, E-R-I-C-K, at checkout for an extra $35 off. Minimum purchase may apply.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz, and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no, and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where AquaGuard comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at aquaguard.net/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. But don't just take our word for it. Here's Jackie and Veronica, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Just call or click to see how much you can save today. Because when it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit ConsumerCellular.com. That's 1-888-FREEDOM or ConsumerCellular.com today. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
Trust is not just a word, it's an experience. When your home needs service, you can trust TE certified electrical, plumbing, heating, and cooling. It's Chris Chandler. TE is the company I trust to fix any problem once and for all. Their 5-star customer experience means easy online scheduling, friendly technicians, and a lifetime workmanship warranty, so I can just sit back and relax.
TE certified, we love your home.
No wonder you don't use your corporate stuff is because everything's so wound up.
Well, you're supposed to take care of that for me.
What?
All my passwords and
See, all my stuff
nuts.
is all my stuff is streamlined. It's efficient.
Yeah,
it's
I
neat.
know, because you're better at that stuff than me.
You're better at everything. You're just yelling.
Wow, wow.
Hey, I don't know
Who's
about
in the
that.
hosting chair
Oh, that's
here?
true.
I wouldn't
Good
throw
point.
everything. All right, what else do we have for Dr. Joe?
This is from UCLA's newsroom. The world's
Wow. A couple of students using ChatGPT. Huh?
Write me an article.
The world's first human bladder transplant was successfully performed at UCLA.
Well, that's...
But they got the bladder of a serial killer.
Yeah. And now we're going to have a great movie, a great horror film.
They cannot quench.
Problem is what he does to them after he kills them.
That's right. He
It's just-
pees
I don't know,
on
it's-
them
it's
and
like
everything.
a-
Yeah, you know.
Joe.
You can't
Oh,
say that,
come
man.
on,
Say
we're
pee?
alluding to something
Oh,
here.
no. Oh, Autumn loves it. Loves the fact that she could yell at you
come
about
on.
that.
Can you believe him?
You can't
Jeez.
describe. You can't describe that.
Oh, you can't?
Doing that.
I
on.
didn't know that either, Joe. So.
I didn't know that
That's
either.
the FCC thing.
Oh,
When
I
it
didn't
comes
know
to,
that.
like, can you say the word You could say the letter P, right?
Oh, okay.
You can't say it as an action.
I did not
going
know
on.
that.
Yes. Well,
There
you
you
know,
go.
people ought to follow me. I've been doing this for a little while.
That's right. You're the pro.
The
doing radio since
FCC
before I was born.
That's true.
That's
Isn't that-
actually
isn't
true.
that scary to
That
think
is
that?
actually true. only by a few bucks.
Yes,
Sorry.
still
Only by a
counts,
few
though.
bucks.
They called him the Golden Killer.
You could say that.
That's why I was trying to allude, bring
Yes.
the audience along and just
Understood.
say, but what he does to them after he
Okay,
kills
yeah.
them. And then let the intelligent folks go,
Because our audience
I
is
get it.
Buries them in the ground.
Yes.
That's right.
That's what.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
That's
I
what he
figured it
does.
out.
But actually, this is a good article, actually.
Oh, yeah? So,
because they could, before that, there's so many nerves and blood vessels in that area, in the pelvic area,
Yeah.
it was hard to do a transplant, but they came up with the technology.
And what
to
do they
fix
get
it.
the bladder of?
It was a donor.
Kidneys
and bladder. They got it from the same person.
Can't they
apparently.
make them in
Another
a lab?
motorcycle
Well, they used to
accident?
make them out of a piece of the colon. 'cause
No,
it wouldn't
can't they
reject-
make them now in a lab? Like grow it and then put it in there?
I don't know.
AI, can they?
3D printer.
3D printing.
There's just a little mouse running around with a big bladder on it.
Yeah,
that's right.
Well, that's the way it's going to be.
Dragging it in the dirt.
Ear, there's a bladder.
What the
Can you
heck?
imagine the
There's someone's
dystopian,
downstairs parts.
the dystopian future where they break out of like all of these research facilities, and you look out and there's like mice with ears on their back running around everywhere.
You're like, save these poor mice. They're children.
I would
That's a
pick,
really
I would
good
pick one
secret
up
of
just as a joke, and into its back I would yell, "Can you hear me?" That's me.
That's you. That's me. A little weird like that.
I'm sorry, Autumn. What were you saying? You said something.
I said it's a really weird secret of Nim.
Yes, it is. I never saw Secret of Nim.
You read the book, Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim?
I think I read a story when I was a kid that was like that. Is that where like they're like a combine, something's coming
Yes.
down the field? And
Yes,
So I read
yeah.
that original story when I was a kid, but I never saw the cartoons that came out.
The
when I was-
movie is excellent.
Yeah.
It still is.
It
Still
scared the
incredibly
crap
great.
out of me when I was a kid. I remember
Yeah,
watching it. I'm like,
it's-
did not
the
like it.
animation is beautiful. They use a lot of cool, like old school Hollywood techniques to make it because it was made before like computers were making cartoons. It's great.
And
What are
Dom
you doing?
DeLuise's in it.
What are you doing with what are you doing with the streaks in your hair? Look, the pink,
Huh?
pink streaks in your hair.
How about you just hear what I'm saying? and
Well,
not
that's
looking
not
at
what you
me?
said. They have great animation, and they go to the old-fashioned stuff because it was. I was listening to everything.
All right, I have no streaks.
But
This is the same hair that I've had for
Camera
years and
hit
years.
you. Well, you must have been putting it back or something.
Well, she hasn't washed it in a month.
Oh, is that
I-
right?
It's
yeah,
not
it really
clean.
highlights.
Is it not clean?
No, it's better when it's not clean.
That's what I say.
That's something else.
But you know me, I like pungent. All right, so Dr. Joe, you see, I can say that. You got to know how to do it. You got to know how to do it. How do you get more Dr. Joe? That's what I
Sunday
wanna know.
nights right here, 8 to 10. We have my live show. And if you have any health questions or want to make an appointment, just go to my website, drjoe.com, drjoe.com. I'd love to answer your health questions and be your doctor.
Thank you, Dr. Joe. See you next week. Alex Williams says there's a crash on 75 jamming the ride through Cobb.
Yeah, it's been in multiple left lanes, Eric. 75 southbound approaching Delk Road, exit 261. You're stacked up back to Highway 5. Highway 41, Cobb Parkway is a great alternate to get you around that. We had a crash, 285 westbound, the outer loop in Sandy Springs around New Northside Drive, Powers Ferry Road, exit 22. That was in the right lane. They since got it off to the shoulder, but still slow back to Ashford Dunwoody Road. And on the south side perimeter, 285 east and westbound, both seeing some brake lights getting through those airport tunnels down near Riverdale Road. How are things looking through downtown, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, very slow. 75-85 southbound. Those delays starting before the downtown merge, getting to I-20, and northbound rides not much better. Bumper to bumper starting at Langford Parkway, getting past Spring Street. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any age system, maker, or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I love my home, and now I found a company that loves it as much as I do. TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. It's Chris Chandler here. These folks have done work in my home. Boy, it didn't take long to realize I could trust their expertise, their attention to detail, and what I think you'll find, just as I did, an amazing level of service. TE Certified has more than 20,000 five-star reviews, and it's been serving Atlanta for decades.
TE certified, we love your home.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Many of you know that my inspiration for becoming an accident attorney was my brother Tim, who was rendered a quadriplegic at age 18. I didn't know what a personal injury lawyer was or what they did, but I soon did. Tim was treated terribly by the insurance company, and I became enraged. It was a constant delay and deny. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Tim later worked with me for 27 years. Last year, my hero died at age 65. You can see my eulogy for him by visiting mybrothertim.com. He was one hell of a man. Because of Tim, together we built the largest injury firm in the world, and our clients are treated the way I would want my family to be treated. At Morgan & Morgan, nobody is a nobody and everybody is a somebody. If you need our help, visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer. See you soon, Tim. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk. News, weather,
Traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 5 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio with our top local story. Atlanta police search for a person of interest after a Georgia Tech student is shot and killed at an off-campus apartment.
Atlanta police now say the victim and killer knew each other, and they say the killer was waiting on the 9th floor of the Connector Apartments for the victim to arrive home. But Lieutenant Andrew Smith says they don't know how he got into the electronically secured building.
Whether it's key card access or whatnot.
Surveillance video of a person of interest only shows him from the back. Police do confirm the victim had a criminal record, but won't go into details. He died of a gunshot wound to the head Tuesday. Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
82 degrees in Atlanta, plenty of sun for the next couple of days. Wind-due storm chances return. Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. A Georgia College student taken into custody by ICE will be home soon. WSB's Veronica Waters reports live on today's bond hearing for the 19-year-old girl.
Ball will be home by tomorrow afternoon at the latest as a judge grants her a $1,500 bond, finding her no danger to the community or flight risk. Her immigration lawyer, Dustin Baxter, describes that emotional moment in court.
Just seeing her face light up and the smile, and she called me right after, and she was just incredibly excited. So that, you know, these victories are few and far between with the Trump administration's position on immigration. So it makes them even more sweet, and we want to save them for even longer.
Now, Baxter says even better, the case is off the rocket docket, which speeds deportations through the system lickety-split. So now Arias' case goes into the regular queue. He says her next court appearance might not be for another year or two. In the meantime, they're going to call the president of Dalton State in hopes that Jimena can take the exams, the finals, that she missed while she was in ICE custody. Reporting live, Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Ahead of the Rick Ross car and bike show next month, South Metro law enforcement say they are coordinated and ready.
After problems with littering, traffic jams, and illegal parking surrounding the annual event, City of South Fulton Police Chief Keith Meadows has one message.
Bad behavior during this event, it won't be tolerated.
They will have 150 officers working in the area in coordination with partners at the Fayette and Clayton County Sheriff's Departments.
We've told our police officers to make sure that they respond with a certain degree of measure and that make sure that our ordinances are upheld in the City of South Fulton.
Organizers expect 6,000 to 8,000 people to show up. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
A town hall tonight will discuss potential chemical exposures from the September fire at the BioLab facility in Conyers. The fire created a massive plume of smoke and forced about 1,700 people to evacuate. State and federal health officials have said there was no immediate health threat to the community. Governor Kemp is praising a proposal from Georgia Power to freeze rates for 3 years. Kemp says the proposal sets Georgia apart from states like Maryland, where rates are rising.
Our rates are stable, even in the midst of unprecedented growth, because we have a strong, reliable energy grid and strong partners in both the private and public sectors.
The Public Service Commission will have the final say on the plan with a vote set for July 1st. A Gainesville man is arrested on multiple counts of sexual exploitation of children. The Hall County Sheriff's Office started an investigation in February after receiving 2 cyber tips from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
Those cyber tips indicated that somebody in the Hall County area had been uploading child sexual abuse material to a social media app.
B.J. Williams with the Hall County Sheriff's Office says 31-year-old Benjamin Gudmundson is now held without bond. Microsoft, with help from the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Georgia, takes down an online marketplace where hackers buy malware to infect computers. The Luma malware was a favorite hacking tool used to steal passwords, credit cards, bank accounts, and cryptocurrency wallets. It is now 5:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, Triple Team Traffic begins with Alex Williams.
2 travel advisories on I-75 in the northwest sector, Bill. We have a new one outbound, 75 North Moores Mill Road, exit number 254. DOT says crash in up to 3 center lanes. That means using Northside Drive, Howell Mill, as you're making your way out of Midtown to head up toward Cobb County. Inbound in Cobb County, a crash has been in 3 to 4 left lanes. 75 southbound before Delk Road, exit 261. Heavy delays back toward Highway 5 and 575. Highway 41 Cobb Parkway is a good alternate to get you around that. We're also going to check I-75 south of town with the help of Kobe Dawkins.
Well, 75 northbound, no slow rides beginning before Highway 155 getting to Jodico Road, and southbound rides you're sluggish from I-675 to Highway 2081. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta. Here's meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Clear skies and cooling down as drier air makes its way into the metro Atlanta area. Lows tonight in the upper 50s, low 60s. Tomorrow, sunshine with a high near 80. Friday, mostly sunny, morning low 55, afternoon high 76. Partly cloudy on Saturday with an isolated pop-up storm, high 79. Sunday, partly cloudy, high 84.
77 right now in Mableton, 80 in Lilburn, and 81 in Peachtree City. More news at 5:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 3 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. Hour 3, as you know, corresponds to the 5 o'clock hour, which means it's time for this hour's keyword for the WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. This is great music. I don't know what it is, but I'm loving it. This hour's keyword is rent. R-E-N-T. Like that musical that went on forever.
That was
rent.
a good show.
9,000, 29,000, 6,000 minutes.
You got to change that to $1,000 could be yours today.
1,000, that's how many dollars we'll give you.
Go to the WSB Radio app or WSBRadio.com/cash for your chance to win. Again, that keyword is R-E-N-T. Rent. Rent. All right, let's do this.
It's time for Bill Crane's Brain Drain.
All righty, Mr. Crane. Present the brain. He's opening up his skull right now and pouring it out onto the console. You are a man of your word.
That'd be normal.
All right, Jared Yamamoto, why don't you toss some stories at us that are of a political nature, and we'll get Mr. Crane to analyze and pontificate.
We touched on this yesterday, but I'm glad Bill Crane's here to talk about it a little bit more because
I'm glad you're glad.
Former Mayor
I'm
Keisha
not.
Lance Bottoms has officially entered the race for governor of Georgia.
Bill, can I just say something? This is what I'm putting on the table.
Got it.
I do not believe this is a serious run. And the reason I do not believe it's a serious run is because she was on Mark Arum, and he asked her, you were around Joe Biden, but what did you see? And she gave this is a non-existent, nobody in America, no
She said he was
Democrat. Oh, great. He was wonderful. Take that down to Savannah. Take that all over the state. I believe that she is keeping herself relevant and Democrats are going to love her, all that kind of stuff. But if you're going to use, that's going to be your response to that question, you're not being serious.
It could be an inexpensive way to later run for a congressional seat. So she doesn't have positive statewide name identification. She has statewide name ID, and it's substantial. But as many people might like her or love her in the circle of Metro Atlanta, there are a larger number probably outstate who disagree with some of the things she said and did during the pandemic, during the summer of racial justice protests.
Coria Turner, always wanted to throw that name in.
Yeah,
because
and there's that.
Yeah.
And I don't think Stacey Abrams is quite out yet. She's not in yet, but
Right.
she's not out yet. And that would be a very interesting Democratic primary. So,
And she would have the money, right?
Yeah,
More.
she
She would
would.
have the
Stacey
money.
Abrams would.
Yeah.
But you know, Keisha Lance Bottoms can't self-fund. She doesn't have that White House salary anymore, or the campaign salary from either the Harris campaign or the Biden campaign. Her husband makes a good living, but two incomes are better than one, particularly when you got kids getting ready to go to college. So it does, as you say, keep her relevant, keep her name out there, and would position her well if Nikema Williams were to get in the governor's race in the 5th Congressional District in Atlanta, or if any number of other Democrats in the state who are talking about it probably aren't going to do it, in, say, the 13th District, which is David Scott's district, it create some other opportunities that this would fuel relatively inexpensively because she'll get a lot of earned media.
Okay, but I mean, do you agree with me that that's just not the answer to have after you were in the Biden?
Well,
I mean, you got to work on it. You sit down with your people. This is a question. We're going to get it. How do we answer
I
it?
was friends with Joe Biden for X number of years. Yes, I noticed, but
Yeah,
we hoped, and Dr. Jill, and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah.
Looking back on it now, maybe
a real answer that the vice
Yeah.
president wouldn't give, and yeah, it's adding to the denial in a spate of books.
Yeah.
And
Democrats don't believe it anymore.
There's no need to protect it anymore.
Yeah,
particularly with the additional
I think you have to eat a
sad
little
news for the president.
Sure, and you
diagnosis.
have to eat a little humble pie by saying, you know what, looking back now, I mean, I'm in there every day, and he's Joe Biden, and and so you get caught up in it. But now looking back, yeah, I can see that maybe we were wrong. Something a little human,
Or even saying if it was the Joe Biden of 2020, and I'll dispute the validity of this statement, but
Right.
if it was the Joe Biden of 2020, he would have beat Donald Trump in 2024. But unfortunately, he was no longer the Joe Biden of 2020.
Something besides he was sharp as a tack. That ain't working anywhere in any political corners. And that's why I say just coming out with that is either silly not to have a good answer ready to go, or it's just not a serious campaign. I mean, you take that to farmers across the state, but I mean, that's just not good. I mean, and although she does have some positive name recognition in the city of Atlanta, she didn't run for a second term for a reason. I mean, she wasn't like she was looking at the research like she's going to be overwhelmingly.
She only won her first election by like 754 votes against Mary Norwood. So
Right.
it was a narrow
So-
win the first time, and it didn't look good for the second.
And I will never mention this run without always mentioning Secoria Turner, because people don't mention that little girl who was murdered by a left-wing militia, a name that is never given to the left wing.
I'll
That's
go further
exactly
and
what
say
happened.
Thugs, who
Yeah.
the Atlanta Police Department allowed to control.
Well, she
the
allowed-
the site of the shooting of Renard.
Yeah, it was a little area. It was like Portland. It was a small area
Yeah,
where
a
they
little
decided
area
they
going
governed
down
it.
Lakewood
Yeah, it was the
Freeway.
Wendy's. Yeah, it was the
Yeah,
Wendy's.
the Wendy's and the BP next
Yeah.
door, and that intersection, which has a lot of traffic on it. I often take that to the airport because 85 and the downtown connector becomes a parking lot, and you could shoot down and cut over. I'm very familiar with that. I drive it a lot going down to College Park for business reasons.
Yeah, she could have stopped it because she was the mayor.
But
so
like you
can
said,
say
it
the
was like Portland.
Yeah, not quite as large.
Yeah,
it was a
no.
smaller area, but this idea that
They didn't see the police
and
headquarters.
of course, the media will never refer to it as a left-wing militia because it's just but that's exactly what it was.
To kind of further add on to your point, Eric, I didn't think about this until I actually got home and I listened back to the interview. And at the very end of it, you mentioned yesterday and today that you don't think it's a serious run. And something that popped out to me, at least listening to it the second time, was when Mark asked for her socials, when you're running for governor, you should know those immediately, like that, especially in the social media driven world that we live
she
in.
didn't know her
Or go to my
socials?
website and there's links to.
She didn't know her socials, and that kind of alluded to your point there. I'm like, I always thought that if you're going to run for that kind of position,
These
you're
are the
doing
easy
it,
questions.
Yeah, like that's
How
not
can people help you with your run? That's an easy question.
That's not a gotcha question.
Where do I go to give money?
And again, it doesn't mean that she's not a nice person or anything.
She's
It's
a nice
just, I was just surprised that
I don't
you
care.
wouldn't know that.
I don't care if she's a nice person.
But there's a difference if you want to be the nominee.
Yes.
And you do.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's I don't know what she's in it for, but I do not believe it's to actually be the governor of Georgia. That's all I know. And maybe she is a nice person, but she, I want to hear the speech where she talks about Secoria Turner. That's a one time, just like, you killed somebody, y'all. That's all I remember. That's all I remember. But that's being a politician. Sometimes people die, and when that happens, you have to step up. And you have to take
even after
responsibility.
that happened, they didn't immediately take back that intersection of
Right,
that area.
yeah. I mean, so you can't even, you're not even able to run your own city properly, and now you want to run the whole state? Doesn't make any sense. All right, what's next?
From CNN, Trump says that Russia will immediately work toward a ceasefire after a phone call, but Putin seems unmoved.
I think at this point, and I'm in favor of ending this war.
And every war, as I know.
And every war, but also I think people who listen to the show know that I'm not a big fan of NATO expansion. So but right now at this point, Putin is just playing Trump, right? I mean, Putin is, you can hate him, and maybe you have good reason to hate him, but he's not dumb.
I think he's got a side eye towards the elections that just occurred in Romania and the ones that are occurring in Poland, which are two Baltic states he would like to have closer relationships with. And the leaders that were just elected, they had a redo of the Romania election and put in someone who was more centrist, pro-EU, and also pro-more aid to Ukraine. The Russian candidate who's now leading, who was trailing, the same, more centrist, less nationalist. So he's got to be mindful of his backyard.
And I think I can't speak for Putin because I can't imagine being that kind of person. But I don't think European Union is nearly the problem as NATO membership.
Correct.
I think European Union is negotiable. NATO membership is not negotiable, and this is not going to end until that guarantee
That's
is
off
made.
the table. And keeping Crimea and areas that they've already taken militarily that Ukraine doesn't have the power to take back. That if we see a peace, that's what the deal will be, and that's what Trump is supporting.
Right. And right now, Putin's asking for areas that he's not controlling right
Correct.
now.
But
that's to give it away
a
later,
written
right?
consensus before you get in the room. What's the framework of these discussions? And that's probably
Well, you know
not
what? Putin's not going to. He's not going to go sit in that Oval Office and be made and be clowned like Trump is doing to these leaders who go sit there in those yellow chairs.
But if the Gold Dome is serious, to your earlier point about being serious, we're not going to get Putin to do anything because that's lighting the fire. That's the match. If you
really,
start,
don't you think they'll just do it if we don't?
If
I
you-
don't want stuff
if
in
you
space.
militarize space besides the crushing expenditure.
Yes.
If we can hack, and they can hack our satellites now for images and other data, what prevents them from
I
turning
agree.
our own space lasers
I
and
agree.
pointing them at us?
I agree, but I just think that in these kind of situations, if we don't do it, they will. Yes, and they're saying, "Oh, this is the beginning of this and that," but I'm supposed to believe that if I go into the dark corridors backstage in China or Russia, these plans aren't drawn up over there too. This is taking them completely by surprise. They're not even thinking about it.
I'm not saying I wouldn't develop weapon systems or even give the defense contractors the opportunity to bid on them, but I would not be broadcasting that I'm going to create a system that globally protects the continental North American United States on the scale of the Iron Dome in Israel. And that's what this is. He went
Right.
to Israel and experienced the Iron Dome. He went to France and saw that military parade. And he wants his own.
Right.
But it ain't going to be
I think
150
that- I think
billion.
the-
It's going to be trillions of dollars.
Of course, and I think you hit on exactly what I'm trying to get to, which is this. He's trying to deal in public, and it doesn't work. It's not,
Not
doesn't,
diplomacy.
not
There
be-
are things that do, but not diplomacy.
Maybe if you're trying to build a new skyscraper in some city, maybe it does, because you can get to the people who want the skyscraper, and then they'll put the pressure on the politicians and all that. But this thing that's going on where we bring leaders into the Oval Office and just try to humiliate them, they're going to stop coming.
You don't think Putin's going to watch a video?
Didn't go well with South Africa.
Putin, let me tell you something. Putin would get up and just walk out. I don't he wouldn't
pull
sit there.
Lester Maddox on the Tonight Show.
До свидания.
Alex Williams says there's a
Vodka.
crash, and every leader should. No leader should come and just decide to be humiliated in front of cameras. That's not negotiating. I don't know what it is, but it's not negotiating. Alex Williams says there's a crash on 75 in northwest Atlanta.
We're going to hop to that one in just a second, Eric. But first, got to tell you, all lanes of I-75 southbound are completely shut down in Marietta. We got the vice presidential motorcade leaving Dobbins, heading south toward town. So 75 southbound completely shut down before right around South Marietta Parkway. That also means as that motorcade travels southbound, they got 285 shut down in both directions right at I-75. 75 northbound, where that crash has been around Moores Mill, is also being held for that motorcade. So very tough delays. 75 northbound coming out of Midtown, 285 both directions, right at I-75 in Cobb, and 75 south through Marietta. Just be mindful, these are temporary closures, so once everything scoots through there, those lanes will open back up. And we also have Kobe Dawkins tracking 285 delays through DeKalb County.
And 285 eastbound, the inner loop slow leaving Dunwoody getting to I-85, and then you remain slow getting to the Stone Mountain Freeway, Highway 78. Traffic brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Get snacking at Whole Foods Market. Save 20% off cut watermelon chunks with Prime through May 27th while supplies last. Shop in store or online. Terms apply. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Topical.
I feel for you if you've been working from home.
Local.
They're suing the landlord. The lawsuit filed in Cobb County Superior
Getting
Court.
you through your
It's
morning.
good stuff for this show. It's good stuff for the radio station.
Mark Arrow.
That's about all I ask.
Mark Arrow.
Tomorrow at 9 a.m.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group, to discuss one of the biggest blind spots that people face when saving for retirement, and it's a head scratcher. Chris, how do so many people not know what they're invested in?
That's the biggest flaw that everybody runs into. They think they know what equities they have, they think they know what bonds they have, but they really don't know how those mutual funds or how those index funds are performing in conjunction with one another. So, I would liken this to a big pot of soup, and we're just throwing all the ingredients in the refrigerator in this thing. It's not very good. It's just a mishmash of stuff. And sometimes you like the way it tastes. Sometimes you don't. And when you don't know why. You don't know if you got too much chicken in there or too much vegetables in there or what's going on. And I ask every caller that comes in for an initial consultation, do you know how your portfolio is broken down? And they say, well, I've got, 20 or so options in my 401k, and I just picked 2 of them or 3 of them. I thought I needed some international. I thought I needed some U.S. equities. I thought I needed some bonds. And they're just guessing. So you have to absolutely know what you're invested in, and that's where we will run the 401k portfolio x-ray for you, because that'll break it down. If you're not proficient at investing and don't understand this world, we will walk you through it. Not knowing what you're invested in is a big hindrance to growing and protecting your money. We will run a portfolio x-ray for you and educate you on exactly what's in your portfolio.
Set up a time to get your complimentary portfolio x-ray today. Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858, or book online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License Number 163546.
Preparing to sell your home can be costly and time-consuming. Skip the hassles of a traditional home sale and sell your home stress-free with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Say goodbye to the stress that comes with showings, open houses, and costly home repairs. My friends at Mark Spain Real Estate will sell your home fast and for maximum value. With over 12,500 five-star reviews, trust the top real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home for top dollar. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Dave Baker here for Artisan Custom Closets. Spring cleaning? Not a fan. However, ever since I had Artisan Custom Closets help me redesign my bedroom closet, spring cleaning has gotten a whole lot easier. See, Artisan helped me to design an affordable, luxurious closet system tailored to my needs. Every project they do is installed by an Artisan professional, generally in under a day. Schedule your free design consultation with the master designer at artisancustomclosets.com. P.S. They did my garage too. I love it.
All righty, Jared Yamamoto. Why don't you give us another story that can drain the brain of that man right there, Bill Crane?
Let's drain that brain. From NBC News, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem struggles to define habeas corpus at Senate hearing. I've got the audio of this.
Is it funny? I'm a man who likes humor, but is it funny that someone that high up does not know what habeas corpus?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not an expert.
If you're gonna cry, let's laugh instead.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, where are these people coming from?
You really want an answer to that?
Well, Fox News. I don't know. She was never on Fox News, but
she's the one that shot her dog, right?
Yes, yeah, it had to be done.
And a goat.
Yeah,
and her goat. That's right.
Oh, well, who cares about goats?
She's from the country, y'all.
Y'all, we don't got
So what was she? So somebody got. It was a gotcha question. It was a gotcha question.
Senator Maggie
Somebody got
Hassan.
to her and said, "Ask her this," because I don't think she knows it. But it is absolutely embarrassing that someone this high. She's dealing with this. She's the head of ICE. Knowing what habeas corpus means is important. I'm sorry if you're.
We're saying I'm going to have my legal counsel give you our brief on this subject and then hand off. You can prepare for these hearings.
That's right. That's right. And if you disagree with me that the leader of ICE should absolutely know the meaning of habeas corpus in her back pocket, then I don't ever want to have a beer with you. All right, go ahead.
Maggie Hassan of New Hampshire is the one questioning her.
Yeah,
So,
by the way,
Secretary,
she's a stupid politician too. Don't get me wrong. She just happens to be right in this situation. Go ahead.
So, Secretary Noem, what is habeas corpus?
Well, habeas corpus is a constitutional right that the president has to be able to remove people from this country.
Let me stop you,
And
ma'am.
suspend their right
Habeas
to-
corpus, excuse me, that's incorrect.
President
habeas
Lincoln
corpus,
used it.
Yes, he did.
Excuse me. Habeas corpus is the legal principle that requires that the government provide a public reason for detaining and imprisoning people. If not for that protection, the government could simply arrest people, including American citizens, and hold them indefinitely for no reason. Habeas corpus is the foundational right that separates free societies like America from police states like North Korea. As a senator from the Live Free or Die state, this matters a lot to me and my constituents
get outta
and to
here.
all
It's a
Americans.
bumper sticker.
So, Secretary Noem, do you support the core protection that habeas corpus provides, that the government must provide a public reason in order to detain and imprison someone?
Yeah, I support habeas corpus. I also recognize that the President of the United States has the authority under the Constitution to decide if it should be suspended or not.
No,
I
that's
also support the president.
Lincoln. The most controversial thing that he ever did was suspending habeas corpus. He came back later, and in retro, had Congress approve that stuff. Now that's some funny business there too, but he still felt that it was something that Congress had to speak to.
And I would say the second most controversial was pardoning all the Confederate troops in General Lee.
Yeah, but he wanted to get on with this.
Oh, yeah, he wanted the nation to come back together.
Okay, it's the, what was I so? Oh, yeah.
Let's say the keyword again.
I already told him once. Well, you tell me I got to tell them again? I got to hold their hands, take them to
Sorry,
the
I
phone?
want to give somebody in Atlanta $1,000.
Yeah, but they got to work for it a little bit. All right, this hour's keyword.
Remember, rent's due next week.
That's right. This hour's keyword is that rent, R-E-N-T. Go to the WSB Radio app or WSBRadio.com/cash for your chance to win. Again, that keyword this hour on WSB 5K a day bonus blitz is R-E-N-T, rent. Alex Williams says lanes on 75 and 285 are opening in Cobb.
Yeah, we've been following that vice presidential motorcade leaving Dobbins Air Reserve Base, traveling 75 southbound. That's why they shut down 75 south in Marietta, as well as 285 and northbound, the inner loop right next to Truist Park. 285 westbound was shut down just before I-75. Everything is back open. 285 westbound, though, is a rough ride out of Dunwoody with northbound inner loop delays starting back around South Cobb Drive. Should start to improve a little bit now that all those lanes are back open. But in Cobb County, you still got that crash 75 south before Delk Road in a couple of left lanes, keeping you slow back to 575. Use Highway 41 Cobb Parkway. How's the ride on I-20 through DeKalb? Kobe Dawkins.
Well, 20 eastbound, you're on and off the brakes, leaving I-25, getting past Panola Road, and then slight tap of the brakes getting into Conyers. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Hey, y'all, Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care, and I'm not going to cry in this commercial, I hope. As many of you know, I lost both my parents recently, but I am so thankful they were able to finish their lives at home where they wanted to be. It's all because of the incredible caregivers who came to see them every day. I am so grateful to Four Seasons Home Care. This is a real family-owned company that vets and hires every single one of their caregiving specialists. They don't have contractors. They're not some national corporation. They are simply the best here in Georgia. And a lot of you have asked me about my journey and if home care is right for your aging parents. I'll tell you what I tell them. Call Four Seasons Home Care and just start the conversation. It's a 100% free call that can change everything. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is Amco Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in Amco just as much as I do.
Dale, over the years, we've both reported about people getting taken advantage of. So I'm keenly aware what it takes to deliver not just great performance, but great customer service. People who follow my advice literally stop me on the street and thank me for referring them to Amco.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, efficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned Amco near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's AA.
MCO.
Hope. It's more than a word. It's a breakthrough in the making. At City of Hope, we're pushing the boundaries of science, targeting cancer at the molecular level, with teams of experts working together to personalize a treatment plan right down to your DNA with unprecedented speed, making every second count, with appointments in as little as 24 hours. City of Hope, advancing cancer care at life-saving speed. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
Don't ignore cracking bricks and concrete or boat walls. You could be ignoring foundation problems. AquaGuard Foundation Solutions knows these signs could lead to a reduction in your home's value. Visit aquaguard.net today to book your free inspection. Remember,
AquaGuard. Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 5:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by QC Kinetics. Our top local story, the Georgia College student taken into ICE custody is headed home.
Just seeing her face light up and the smile, and she called me right after, and she was just incredibly excited.
The 19-year-old was mistakenly arrested by Dalton police during a traffic stop.
Amina Arias Cristobal will be home with her family by Thursday latest, so says her attorney Dustin Miller, after an immigration judge grants her $1,500 bond.
WSB's Veronica Waters reports the girl has lived in the U.S. illegally since she was 4 years old and was facing deportation to Mexico. 82 degrees in Atlanta. Sun dominates to close out the week. Do storm chances return for the weekend? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. Atlanta police are searching for a person of interest after a Georgia Tech student is shot and killed at an off-campus apartment. Homicide Commander Lieutenant Andrew Smith says they believe this was a targeted shooting.
We know that he was not with the victim. He was on
in the hallway well before the victim arrived.
The student was shot in the head at the Connector Apartments on Spring Street Sunday night. Police today are sharing a video of a man walking down a 9th floor hallway who they believe was involved in the shooting. We posted that video at WSBradio.com. Lawrenceville police are investigating after a 38-year-old man is shot and killed on Pine Valley Drive. The shooting happened just before 1 this morning. Police believe the victim and shooter knew each other. Anyone with information should call police. Governor Kemp shows support to Georgia Power's proposal to hold rates steady for 3 years.
Pointing to states like Maryland that are being forced to hike energy rates, Governor Kemp says the freeze will help Georgians.
Coupled with falling gas prices, this rate freeze will help Georgia families in a time when they need it most, after historic inflation and storms have challenged many people's day-to-day lives.
The Public Service Commission will take up the proposal in June with a vote set for July 1st. Bills could still go up next year due to storm damage costs from Hurricane Helene. From the state capitol, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
In the latest Oval Office clash, President Trump confronts South Africa's president with allegations whites in his country are victims of genocide.
Their heads chopped off. They died violently.
The South African president denies the allegations, telling Trump there is a minority party behind the tensions between blacks and whites. The Pentagon accepts the $400 million jet gifted by Qatar. CBS's Weijia Zhang reports from the White House. Many questions remain about the plane.
On Capitol Hill, there's a lot of questions about the legality of this and the ethics of accepting such a big gift from a foreign government.
The plane still needs to be retrofitted for the president's use. The severe weather overnight causes a house fire in Lawrenceville, and 1 firefighter is injured.
11 people were inside the home on Grouse Court when lightning struck. Everyone got out safely before firefighters arrived. Gwinnett Captain Ryan McGibney says 1 crew member was injured.
Immediately treated and then transported to Grady Memorial.
He's already been discharged and is going to be okay. The family getting help from the Red Cross. McGibney says this serves as a reminder.
Definitely shows us the importance of paying attention to the weather and practicing home escape plans.
Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
South Metro law enforcement say they are coordinated and prepared ahead of the annual Rick Ross Car and Bike Show next month.
Bad behavior won't be tolerated around this event.
South Fulton Police Chief Keith Meadows says they'll have 150 officers in the area of the show working alongside the Fayette and Clayton County Sheriff's Departments. Southwest Airlines passengers will be required to keep portable chargers in plain sight while using them. It's because of concerns about the growing number of lithium battery fires. The new policy goes into effect May 28th. Southwest is the first U.S. airline to restrict the use of portable chargers, but others may do the same. It is now 5:34, and this news is sponsored by Findlay Roofing. Time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple Team Traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Still a tough ride on 285 on the north side perimeter bill. The outer loop traveling westbound from Ashford Dunwoody Road. It is nothing but brake lights through Sandy Springs over into Cobb, where they had 285 westbound shut down for that vice presidential motorcade. 285 northbound, the inner loop also in recovery mode from South Cobb Drive up into Smyrna Vinings. With this also put extra pressure on the downtown connector, about a half hour, I think about a little more than that, 35 minutes out of Buckhead from Lennox Road down to I-20. Northbound jammed in from Langford Parkway up past Freedom Parkway. 20 eastbound slows through West Atlanta from Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, trying to ramp on to the downtown connector. Still been watching a crash on I-75 in Cobb County, Kobe Dawkins.
And that's correct. 75 southbound right before Delk Road, exit 261. That crash cleanup continues to knock out 3 left lanes, seeing heavy delays back to I-575. Avoid it by taking Highway 41 as an alternate. From the Cool Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Clear skies and cooling down as drier air makes its way into the metro Atlanta area. Lows tonight in the upper 50s, low 60s. Tomorrow, sunshine with a high near 80. Friday, mostly sunny, morning low 55, afternoon high 76. Partly cloudy on Saturday with an isolated pop-up storm, high 79. Sunday, partly cloudy, high 84.
77 right now in Sandy Springs, 80 in Fairburn, also 80 in Loganville. More news at 6 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Some things really love the rain, like flowers, your lawn, frogs. Other things like your roof, not so much. much. And if your roof is old, it's taken a lot of abuse from the elements over the years. Home Fix It Show host Dave Baker here from my roofing experts at Findlay Roofing. The roof guys. Water is your home's #1 enemy, and your roof is your front line of defense to stop it from getting inside. Heavy rain and severe storms like we've had recently can expose roof leaks and lead to water damage. So, how's your roof holding up? If you're not sure, I recommend you schedule a Findlay Roofing free roof analysis. It's easy. Go to roofroof.com, set up your appointment, and a highly trained professional will thoroughly examine your roof. No obligation, no charge. And if you need a new roof, remember Findlay has seen it all and replaced it all. They have replaced over 65,000 roofs in the metro area. That's why when it comes to your roof, you need to think of Findlay first. Schedule your free roof analysis at findlayroofing.com.
Roof. Metallica in the round. The M72 World Tour continues. Live from the 50-yard line of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. One night only. June 3rd. Metallica. Special guests, those Cowboys from Hell, Pantera. Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? And Suicidal Tendencies. Tickets on sale now. Available at Ticketmaster.com. Metallica in the rounds. The M72 World Tour continues. Presented by In Kind.
Don't let a DUI ruin your life. Hire the attorney that other attorneys hire. GeorgeStein.com.
It's time to get out and celebrate spring, but if your spring outing led to a life-altering accident, make a life-altering call to John Foy & Associates, the Strong Arm. It's Smiler Mark McKay. They have the experience, knowledge, and results it takes to win for you. JohnFoy.com.
All right, William Crane. We have more political stories for you to help us navigate.
How much more can his brain take?
Well, we're just trying to get it all out of there. That's all. I use it as part of my protein shake.
It's a pretty
in the morning.
big garage or attic. You got to rumble around. And
Yeah, you
shake
find,
around a little
find
bit.
like find a little paper wrapper over in the corner somewhere.
Upstairs, someone who will remain nameless, but is an anchor and is a he. No,
Yeah.
Said, "Where do you keep all that stuff?"
Up there in that
Up
attic.
there in that attic.
But it's a large attic.
Yes.
What do you have for Bill Crane's large attic?
Another NBC News story. I know people are going to get upset.
Oh, Trump.
More
the fake crap news.
The Senate unexpectedly passed the No Tax on Tips Act in a unanimous vote earlier
Okay,
today.
so this was going to be part of the big, beautiful bill. This is something Trump's been promising. It was his idea from the rallies. Democrats realized we can get ahead of this, and just out of nowhere, they pushed it out of the Senate, and everybody voted for it, and now it has to go to the House, right?
Correct.
So for politics, because now it's something that because they pushed it out of the Senate,
They'll
and it's
be
going
able
to be
to claim credit
popular,
for it.
they can get partial credit at least. They
well,
can get credit for it.
We pushed it out of one of the two chambers you have to have to pass and signed by the president. So yeah.
Now, in the politics of it, do you think that they'll try to push Trump by saying, hey, this big, beautiful bill thing's taking a long time. We've already passed this. Why don't you just get it to the House and let's go?
Remember, a year ago, the Republican leadership was saying, let's break this huge, massive $6 trillion into chunks. Let's do defense spending and social spending where it's more easily digestible and people can understand what we're doing. They're not doing that with the big, beautiful bill. But the
Right.
Democrats opposed that and liked the kind of phone book approach.
Is that omnibus? Is that what you
The
call it?
omnibus bill, yeah. And he's got two budgets he can do by reconciliation before he has to go back to kind of getting a 2/3 support of the budget.
Right.
It's made sense for years. I worked in the service industries. You can see that it will immediately have a cash flow increase on the working people, but it's basically Democrats trying to say back to the working class folks out
Yeah.
there, I'm with you. I'm your guy. This is our.
That was
even
his
though-
idea, but
yeah, we like it so much.
We're pushing it. It was his idea, but
We're
we like
getting out
it
in
so
front of
much.
the
We got
parade.
ahead of him.
Yeah.
To try to get some credit for it. I think there's going to be some.
And it will have some budget impact. It's
Right.
not an insubstantial amount of money that will be coming out of on the revenue side.
Well, the other thing is, are they still in the big beautiful bill? Are they still talking about no taxes on Social Security?
Yes,
because I find that to be ridiculous that you have to pay taxes on Social Security.
Well, there should be an earnings cap, and then above a certain amount, you
Maybe
should
okay, but I would put it this way: because people are living longer, I guess. If you live longer, I would say the moment you start collecting more than you put in, you can start paying tax. But the money
you're expecting the
why
government
would
to
you
keep track of things it doesn't necessarily track.
I mean, it's your money, right? That's the idea. Is
That
it's
was
your
the idea,
money?
but we didn't put it in a separate area.
I get that, but the promise was
I could have invested it and done
Yeah.
something different with it.
Right.
But instead, I have to give it to you, and then I have to pay for it again later.
Could have put it in a lockbox.
To me, that is absurd. Now, the tip
Ooh,
thing,
a
I think, is I'm fine, I guess, with it, but I think employers will mess with that, and it'll get gamed. Somehow it will get gamed.
The growing
everything,
budget buster is giving SALT, the state and local sales tax exemptions, to New York and California and these very high tax states.
I thought those were gone from a few
They
years.
were, but in this package, the Republicans, a few of them in New York and California won't support the big beautiful bill,
Right.
without the SALT exemption, and they've moved it up to $40,000 of exemption cut of your tax bill for income and households of less than $500,000 a year.
So basically, my understanding of SALT is you get a break from the federal government on the amount of state taxes you pay.
And local.
And local. And and to me, what
Property
that does, if somebody lives in Florida,
They
where
pay
you're
no
a,
income
where you're a low tax state, that mean and then
They will be subsidizing
they'll
the
be
high-
subsidizing the
the
people
hiring.
in New York, Illinois, California.
Yes.
It makes absolutely no sense. Just go ahead, let those Republicans lose their seats.
Well, then
And-
you also lose the majority in 20
Well, I get that.
I'm just telling you
I mean,
why
no, I know, but I'm just saying that idea. Why the hell should people in other states have to subsidize?
They shouldn't.
The high taxes in the high tax state. There's a principle there that says that principle should just be so deep. And they got rid of it. I think that's kind of come back, or this is the first time it's going to come
Second or
back.
third time it's been in and then out and then in and then out.
So absolutely, tell me
Reagan
why
took it
people in
out.
Florida should
Bush-
be subsidizing people in New York with their taxes. It's absurd. Absurd.
The number of votes in those congressional.
Yeah, I know, but if you know what, to the people of the state of New York, if you want lower taxes, get new politicians that'll
Lower
cut
your
taxes.
taxes or
Right,
cut spending.
cut spending. Right.
Apparently, Magic Mike Johnson has found a deal with some of these blue state Republicans. So that's the
Yeah,
of course the Freedom Caucus. That
guy's another phony baloney. Just
What, Magic
walking
Mike?
around with his Eagle Scout glasses. Get the hell out of here. I never look at porn. Yeah, right. Right. Yeah. You're the one. You're the one.
It's got to be difficult though for his position because he's trying to. I mean, the Republicans are often the ones that kind of shoot themselves in the foot because you have the conservative part of the party and then you have the
About
moderate part of the
five
party.
factions really in the current GOP.
Right,
Yeah.
and so
In
they're
Congress.
always kind of fighting
Well, the
each other.
Democrats are being led around by their extreme left.
Right.
So
and,
it's the same
and,
thing.
and they're even crazier, but
Yeah.
there are 5 sort of distinct voting blocks that he's got to try to corral with a 3-vote.
And look at the
majority.
people he's butting heads with are the ones who are the people that the Republicans used to love, the Freedom Caucus, right? They're
And,
for
and
different
there are
reasons.
still 4 votes who have not
Yeah.
committed to support this budget.
Now the Freedom Caucus, obviously, they're not holding out on salt. They're
No.
holding out on what's their
They think it's,
pepper?
and it doesn't cut enough.
Yeah.
The budget doesn't cut enough, particularly on Medicare and Medicaid spending. They want more than just the requirement to earn if you're able-bodied and don't have dependents.
Yeah.
They want deeper spending cuts in Medicare and Medicaid. That's their big issue, and that is the largest driver of spending in the budget.
And then the way the media will cover that is any cut to Medicaid or Medicare is cutting away from people who need it. But in reality, the situation is a lot of people that were not the type that were meant to be getting that aid are getting it now. That needs to be addressed. Now, if you think that they should get it now, let's have a debate and tell us why we should pay for it. But it's not the way it's being reported, which is the people who actually need it are still going to get it.
Particularly mothers with children and such as that.
That's
But
what
if
it's
you don't
about.
have- correct. That's how it started. But in this time that we're hearing about it, it's 8 million Americans will lose their Medicare and Medicaid. How do we know exactly? We don't.
We don't. You know, somebody somebody comes up with a number, and the rip and read media just goes, "Oh, this is
a
what
forecast based on what we know about the current beneficiaries."
Yeah, and taking the most negative light in order because these people, you cut stuff, people lose jobs. It's about power ultimately in the end. And I'm not being naive about that or like a teenager about it. I'm just saying people need to understand that when they evaluate these things. That this is what's going on. They all want power. They don't give a damn about you. I mean, maybe there's one person up there. The first couple of years they give a damn, then they're like, well, if I want to stay here and keep this job, I better start playing the game.
I'm a little less jaded, but there's not exactly the leadership we had 10, 20 years ago.
What was it? Who went to Washington? What was it, 1939 movie? Jimmy Stewart?
Mr. Smith.
Yeah, Mr. Smith doesn't exist. Alex Williams says there's a crash on 85 in Gwinnett.
And we had the lovely Eric Von Hessler effect. They just cleared it out of travel lanes. 85 northbound Gravel Springs Road, exit number 118. So those brake lights, leaving the 985 split passing Beaver Drive, the Mall of Georgia, are starting to improve. Before that, though, 85 northbound's been a rough ride this afternoon. Brake lights find you just north of Shallowford Road, exit 93. Take those up to Jimmy Carter Boulevard, exit number 99. Better news in Marietta. Crash is clearing. They just picked up the last few cones from the left lanes. 75 southbound before Delk Road, exit 261. Seeing the volume stretch back up toward Kennesaw, but that will start to improve. Northbound tapping the brakes from South Marietta Parkway up toward 575. How's the ride on I-20, the West Freeway, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, 20 westbound slow ride starting at MLK Junior Drive through I-285 getting into Lithia Springs. From the Cool Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
It pays to have the WSB radio app. Download it today and get ready for the Blitz.
Oh my God.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. 5 chances a day to win $5,000.
It's a Blitz.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is tomorrow morning at 8.
Oh, that's cool.
From 95.5 WSB.
Download the WSB radio app now.
How can your termite company claim your home is termite free? By only walking around the outside? Dave Baker for Breda Pest Management. Termites are the most destructive pest of all. They literally eat your house. So only Breda will also come inside and thoroughly inspect your entire home with infrared cameras. Breda guarantees your termite protection and will lock in your rate for 10 years. BREDAPest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
When someone's AC is on the fritz, drains are clogged, or wall outlets are sparking, Castile Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical never asks, how soon do you need it fixed? You know why? Because no one in recorded history has ever said, oh, take your time, just whenever you can get to it. We just assume, how fast can you get here will always be the answer. So Castile will be there same day, and we won't leave until you're 100% satisfied. See? Sometimes it's good to assume. It gets your AC fixed fast. Book today at CastileAir.com.
Skip the hassle of constant cleaning and sell your home stress-free with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, this is Mark Spain. With a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can sell your home stress-free, make the most money, and move on your timeline. One of our clients, Tyra, said, thanks to Mark Spain Real Estate, our home had several cash offers within 24 hours of it being on the market, and we closed in less than a month. Find out what your guaranteed offer would be and close in as little as 21 days. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com. And start packing.
Looking for ways to save on your energy bill? This is Scott Slate. Well, the first step is knowing how much energy you're using. With Georgia Power's My Power Usage tool, you can check your daily energy consumption and see how even slight adjustments can help lower your energy bill. Turning off your lights when not in use, caulking and weather stripping windows and doors, washing full loads of clothes in cold water can all make a difference. Check out the resources that can help manage your energy usage at georgiapower.com/myenergy.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. But don't just take our word for it. Here's Jackie and Veronica, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Just call or click to see how much you can save today. Because when it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com. That's 1-888-FREEDOM or consumercellular.com today. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
All right, Bill Crane is we're draining that brain. CSI Crane? That's
Yes, sir.
People get you. They just go to website.
That or One Man's Opinion and Bill Crane here on WSB. And
One Man's Opinion, a great weekly article by Bill Crane. All right, you have one more little political story for the brain of Crane?
Let's go back local. Senator Jon Ossoff spoke earlier this week about corporate landlords that are buying up all of these Georgia homes, especially here in the metro area. He spoke on Monday about this.
And does he have any power to do anything about it, or is he just like raising the flag first so he can put out a pamphlet?
It's a combination, but there can be things done. I mean, it's about private property rights, but it's also about tenant rights. So you've got, and I don't know that the federal government is the best way to jump in here. I think I'd start local, but you have on the south side of Metro Atlanta subdivisions that are aging that have more than once, and they are again dropping in price and value. And both private equity groups and just private investors are going in and buying up entire streets. And then they turn it into rental property.
Evil.
Yeah, and renters, good, bad, and indifferent, don't manage or maintain properties the same way that owners do as a general rule.
Because it's not theirs.
Right. And they're not getting equity. They're not getting, if it sells for much more later, they don't benefit from that. So it's sort of a downward spiral, but they don't decrease the rents.
Right.
And so we have, in the top 10 metropolitan area markets, the highest percentage, nearly 30%, of subdivisions, private, individual single homes in certain areas are owned by corporations.
Well, it's part of this completely transactional society we've become. It is. I use the word evil as just it's a good word. It's a good word where you have people who have come up through the American society. They've succeeded. They've got companies. They're doing well, and then they turn around and try to create a world for young families who are trying to get started where it becomes nearly impossible to buy a home and create equity. And I've said this a million times. I bought one home in my life, and we bought it, at one price, and we lived in it, and we maintained
rode the
it.
train.
Right, and but I didn't, we had to do some upkeeping along the way. You got to
added
pay
that
the
pool.
taxes, you added things to it for resale value as well. But I'm, just living in that house for 23 years, it's been exponential. What I paid for
That
it
is
to
the
what
way
I
most
could get for it.
Yeah, that is the way most Americans build wealth.
Yeah, and to convince young people that they shouldn't get that kind of equity in their life, that they should just rent forever. It is the people who have already made it in this country, who are at the top of these companies, know what they're doing. And to do that to a younger generation is just more evidence of the soulless transactional society we've become. I know it's a business. I know you need to make
I'm
money.
a capitalist, but
So am I.
I know, and I'm for profit, but there should be limits, and that's what I think Senator Ossoff would attempt to get at is how do you without rent control.
My
It is
younger
really difficult because, like, if you want to buy a house and you make, a median income, like you still can't buy a house.
Right.
You can't afford 10% down of $350,000.
I'm talking about special funds like they have for veterans, special funds like first-time home buyers and FHA.
But even those things are really difficult to get.
How about just get these people out of buying homes collectively like this? Can't we just pass a law like that locally?
Can't restrict at that level property rights. If I want to buy your house and you agree to the sale price,
right,
I can buy your house.
I know that, but there should be some language about buying neighborhoods. I think that
they
there's
typically don't go in and buy them all at the same time.
Right.
They use different LLCs. They combine them and then they roll them in. I mean, it's easy.
I'm just saying, it's the bad guys are going to win. There's
You have
nothing
to
we can
live
do.
there.
in the near term.
It's
but
almost
they,
like Airbnb.
They
right?
can,
It's like-
they can regulate as cities have done. Airbnb and VRBO and what you can do and what you can charge, and that's possible. And you can set up things like 529s to let you and me, as an example. I got grandchildren.
Yeah, my young libertarian self just didn't understand how evil these people could be. Because I was all up, free, everything, let the market decide. This is not a free market. This is not, you cannot compete with private
read any
equity
of the
groups.
multiple bios on Teddy Roosevelt and what profiteers was like then. John Ford and some of the people that we revere, Henry Ford, that we revere.
Henry, yeah, all this. John Ford was a great director.
I know.
sir.
We were talking about John Ford in the break.
Guys, if you rent, though, you get the free dog park, you get the
Yeah.
Wi-Fi.
The amenities are part of the sale.
Free eviction.
But even he's just joking because 10 years later, you've got nothing in your hand. That's what it's all about.
I'm teasing.
Or your wallet.
Those people should not. They're too dumb if they can actually sleep at night. They're awful people. Alex Williams is checking the ride around 285.
Brake lights 285 westbound, the outer loop out of Dunwoody into Sandy Springs, starting from Ashford Dunwoody Road over to Roswell Road. Bunches up again around I-75 and Truist Park there, the home of the Braves. Actually getting a little bit better, making your way southbound to I-20, the West Freeway. The inner loop 285 east and southbound, about 26 minutes from Ashford Dunwoody Road down to I-20, the East Freeway in DeKalb County. Heads up, crashed back into traveling northern Gwinnett County, 85 northbound at Gravel Springs Road, exit 118. Slow in the ride from Buford Drive. That's the Mall of Georgia exit. Kobe Dawkins, School Day Carrier Traffic Center.
Well, 75-85 northbound, you're jammed starting at Langford Parkway, getting past Spring Street. 85 south, you are bumper to bumper from the Georgia 400 merge, getting to I-20. And 85 northbound, right near Georgia 400, you're dealing with the stall and knocks out one center lane. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any age system, maker, model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Hey y'all, Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care, and I'm not going to cry in this commercial, I hope. As many of you know, I lost both my parents recently, but I am so thankful they were able to finish their lives at home where they wanted to be. It's all because of the incredible caregivers who came to see them every day. I am so grateful to Four Seasons Home Care. This is a real family-owned company that vets and hires every single one of their caregiving specialists. They don't have contractors. They're not some national corporation. They are simply the best here in Georgia. And a lot of you have asked me about my journey and if home care is right for your aging parents. I'll tell you what I tell them. Call Four Seasons Home Care and just start the conversation. It's a 100% free call that can change everything. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
When everyone in the family wants something different from this year's vacation, there's only one thing to do. Plan for Pigeon Forge. From gorgeous mountain views, shows, and shopping for leisure lovers to coasters, a 200-foot swing, and hundreds more rides for adventure seekers. Plus Dollywood's epic array of fun. There's plenty of variety for the whole family, all in one place. Unique experiences, quality time, and memories for years to come. Find your personal favorites. Plan your getaway at mypigeonforge.com.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Stylin'. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Heavy rains have recently impacted widespread areas of North Georgia. How did your roof hold up? Heavy rains expose roof leaks that can lead to water damage. Schedule a free roof analysis from Dave Baker, trusted and recommended, FindlayRoofing.com.
Roof.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 6 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by the Lloyd Advisory Group. Our top local story, new clues today in the shooting death of a Georgia Tech student at an off-campus apartment.
There is surveillance video of what police call a person of interest, but he's walking away from the cameras so his face can't be seen. Lieutenant Andrew Smith says this was likely an ambush.
We know that he was not with the victim. He was in the hallway well before the victim arrived.
Police say the slaying took place on the 9th floor of the Connector Apartments, but they aren't sure how the killer got into the electronically secure building. They say the victim did have a criminal record, but won't say for what. He died of a gunshot wound to the head Tuesday. At Atlanta Police Headquarters, Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
And we have posted the surveillance video at WSBradio.com. 81 degrees in Atlanta. Sunny, a bit cooler to end the week. When do isolated storm chances return? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. A Georgia college student taken into custody by ICE will be home soon after getting bond today.
It has been tough. It's been a roller coaster.
That roller coaster is now at a high after an immigration judge declares 19-year-old Jimena Arias Cristobal no flight risk or danger to the community. Attorney Dustin Baxter says she's expected to be back home with family by Thursday afternoon. Arias' case is now off the so-called rocket docket of deportation and in the regular queue.
There are millions of cases pending at Immigration Court right now, so that only means that it could be late next year or even the year after before she's even scheduled for a preliminary hearing.
Baxter tells me Arias is now hopeful Dalton State allows her to take the final exams she missed while in ICE custody. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Happening now, residents in Conyers taking part in a town hall meeting to discuss holding BioLab accountable for the fire that caused a chemical cloud last September. The huge plume of smoke led to evacuations in Rockdale County. People who live and work in the area near the plant are meeting with attorneys to discuss options for class action lawsuits. Law enforcement agencies across the South Metro area are working together as they prepare for the annual Rick Ross Car and Bike Show.
Littering, traffic jams, and illegal parking. Those are just some of the problems that residents near the Rick Ross Car Show have experienced in past years. But South Fulton Police Chief Keith Meadows says this year will be different.
We'll be deploying almost 150 police officers to ensure that traffic congestion is at a minimum, that residents are able to get in and out of their residence freely.
Law enforcement say they will be taking a zero-tolerance approach to bad behavior. Organizers are expecting 6,000 to 8,000 people to come out for the event next month. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Microsoft takes down an online marketplace where hackers buy malware to infect computers after getting a court order from the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Georgia. The Luma malware was a favorite hacking tool used to steal passwords, credit cards, bank accounts, and cryptocurrency wallets. It's infected hundreds of thousands of computers worldwide between March 16th and May 16th. A Gainesville man is held without bond after his arrest on multiple counts of sexual exploitation of children. An investigation that started in February led to the arrest of 31-year-old Benjamin Gudmundson. B.J. Williams with the Hall County Sheriff's Office says they found disturbing images on the suspect's electronic devices.
They did an initial search and found 10 images of children engaged in sexually explicit conduct. All of those children believed to be under the age of 16.
Investigators say the suspect was uploading child sexual abuse material to a social media app. A Canton man is found guilty of cruelty to children after burning a child with a cigarette. It caused second-degree burns on the boy's back. A Cherokee County jury finds 44-year-old Leor Talker guilty. He'll be sentenced at a later date. A house fire in Gwinnett County. A house goes up in flames in Gwinnett County during the storms overnight.
Storms were moving through the northern Gwinnett area. Our crews in Lawrenceville were dispatched to a house fire.
Gwinnett Fire Captain Ryan McGibbon, he says the family of 11 got out safely, but one firefighter is injured when the roof collapses. He is expected to make a full recovery. It is 6:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, Triple Team Traffic begins with Alex Williams.
New travel advisory in Gwinnett County. Traffic Trooper Will told us about this crash. Three right lanes taken out, 85 northbound, just past Indian Trail Road, exit 101. Tough delays all the way back to Shallowford Road. Think about using Buford Highway as your alternate. Once you get past that, looks like the other crash, second crash of the day, is cleared. 85 northbound near Gravel Springs Road, exit 118. Heads up for a crash leaving Lawrenceville. It's on 316 westbound around Sugarloaf Parkway, causing delays from Riverside Parkway. Kobe Dawkins checking the ride on I-75 toward Cobb County.
Well, northbound rides are on and off the brakes just before the North 120 loop getting into Ackworth towards Highway 92, and southbound rides slow as well, leaving I-575 getting to Highway 5. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta. Here's meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Clear skies and cooling down as drier air makes its way into the metro Atlanta area. Lows tonight in the upper 50s, low 60s. Tomorrow, sunshine with a high near 80. Friday, mostly sunny, morning low 55, afternoon high 76. Partly cloudy on Saturday with an isolated pop-up storm, high 79. Sunday, partly cloudy, high 84.
Right now it's 82 in Peachtree Corners, 78 in Powder Springs, and 81 in Hampton. More news at 6:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Caiaccio's going to have to carry us over there.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. Thanks for holding down the fort there with the four fingers waved high, Bill Caiaccio. Hour 4 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. And I believe Doctrinaire at Large, is he in Greece or something?
He is in Greece.
Greg Russ, let's do this.
He's a misanthrope. He has a dark heart. And he needs a good psychiatrist.
Greece.
It's Greg Russ with stories from Studio B1.
Grecian edition.
All right, is this going to work? Is the signal going to hold all
It's
the
going
way?
to work. If it worked on a cruise ship, it'll work in Greece.
Yeah, you sound like you're right next door. I like that.
When I was a kid, before we get into anything, I went to an Olympic basketball game when the Olympics were in Atlanta. I forget who Greece was playing. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't pertain to the story too much, because what sticks out in my mind is every time the ball went out of bounds and it was Greece's ball, the announcer would say, "Grease ball." And that's what I remember.
Grease ball. That sounds like the game they were playing. Grease ball. All right. So how long you been in Greece now? Have you met with the couple that has forced you to fly halfway around the world for their wedding?
Yes, we met tonight for the first time. We got in yesterday, so this is the second night. It's currently 1:07 a.m.
Wow. Hey, let's hear it for Greg Russ.
Wow. Thank you.
He's not phoning it. Well, he is phoning it, but you know what I mean. He's not phoning it in. He's
No,
using a phone to not phone it in.
I could have demanded to be on the show earlier, but I saw that you had a full lineup of guests today. I said, you know what? They deserve their regular time slots. Who am I to make any demands?
So
I didn't.
how is it? Do you gain time when you go, or do you lose time? How's it work with that way? Which way
it's
do you
gaining.
go?
So
Okay.
it's technically the 22nd here.
Okay,
And you're still doing the show on the 21st.
You loser. You look down upon us, I know. But so you're not necessarily, the jet lag is going to hit you on the way back.
I think it's
guess
harder
so.
to go there.
Really?
Because
When I
you
went to
take a
Spain,
red eye.
yeah.
Well, when you take a red eye, I can't sleep on a plane that much. I slept for
Yeah.
3 hours, but it was in and out. We talked about this. I
Yeah.
didn't get the neck pillow. And
Why didn't you get the neck pillow? What the hell's the matter with you? You hate yourself?
They run out?
It's
Yeah.
dorky and weird.
Oh, it's not. Not when you're on a plane for 10 hours.
No, but when you have to walk around the airport looking like that.
Yeah, look, everybody else is doing it. You're in the land of the stupid at that point. You can look stupid.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
fine.
they're traveling these days in flip flops and
Yeah.
Pajamas.
Can I tell you, Greg, the first time that I ever got on a plane was in 1975. And this was before deregulation. And I'm not saying, deregulation's a good thing. But people dressed up. My mom made sure that my brother and I think we were wearing our stupid 1970s leisure suits when we got on the plane. It was a completely different experience. And also people who flew a lot still took it seriously. Like the businessmen who were constantly flying, nobody was in flip-flops. No
pajamas?
No pajamas, but I'm for deregulation.
no juicy couture.
Let the
Whatever it
riffraff
is, couture. Wait, how do you pronounce it? I have no clue.
Let the riffraff fly. That's what I say. But I remember a day when I was 11 years old. It was different, but it's better that people can get to where they want to go, I suppose.
I put a suit on once to fly because I wanted to pretend I was living in the past, and I got made fun of. And
Really?
it was kind of goofy when you're the only person sitting there next to other people wearing sweats.
You can just
Why
say,
are you
"Hey."
wearing a suit in the middle seat and coach.
Well, you
dude?
just say, look, when we land, I have a meeting immediately, and I have to be there, and That's give them that. I'm meeting somebody when I get there. I have to be wearing a suit.
Greg doesn't want the needed attention though. So if you're the one that is the only person wearing the suit, you're gonna get unwanted attention.
I think he likes that kind of attention.
Yeah.
He likes being the odd man out.
Here's what I liked about it. Here's what I liked about it. English Nick did make fun of me because I was flying to Atlanta and I saw him pretty much right after I landed for some reason. He made fun of me. So
why are you doing that suit?
Hey, I got really anyone on the plane. Here's what I liked about the idea of the suit, though. I had this fantasy that someone started causing some trouble and they went up to the cockpit door and they were banging on it. And I just got up from my seat nonchalantly, calm, cool, collected, took the shoelace off of my shoe, went up behind them, strangled them. And once they were out, I went back to my seat and continued reading the book I was reading. Didn't make a big deal. People then would talk about it. The guy in the suit just saved the day, and he doesn't even care. He's just acting like it's a thing he does every day.
What is that? There must be some kind of fantasy. There must be some name for that, like a hero fantasy, obviously. Like, do you have hero fantasies?
Yeah, but in the hero fantasy, it's like, no, don't even give me attention. I want the attention, clearly, but I don't want people to know that I want the attention.
And it's more like, hey, there was a job to be done. I did it. That's all. I'm no hero. And then
I like doing this. Yeah. It's just I have to because I'm the only person who can.
That's Greg with 3 G's.
Yeah. I'm the only guy in this plane wearing a suit. You think you're going to do it?
Or has shoelaces, apparently. Everybody else in this fantasy has got the Velcro shoes, and so they, even if they wanted to, they couldn't.
Well, if they're wearing flip-flops and sandals, they don't have the shoelaces.
Yeah, it's kind of sad what flying has become. It used to be kind of glamorous, but then again, not everybody could do it, and so I'm still enough of a libertarian to believe that the riffraff should be able to fly.
It's gotta be nice that you can pay
riffraff in the sky.
It's gotta be nice you could pay $39 to go to San Antonio. Yeah,
that's what Southwest keeps telling me my Gmail every day. Hey, we got a new thing. What am I going to do? Just decide to fly because you have a deal?
Isn't that how Clark goes on vacation?
I'm not Clark Howard.
$59 to go to Topeka.
I don't want to go to Topeka.
To Topeka?
I don't know anybody.
To Peoria?
Boise.
Play in Peoria.
Come to Boise.
Take the show. Take the show to Peoria.
Yeah, that's
Eric,
right.
And if it works.
Do they even say that anymore? If it plays in Peoria, they got to hit. I think they used to. Peoria is in Illinois, right? Or Indiana. Okay. So they used to test products there, I think. So the food industry and stuff, for some reason, it was a perfect blend of demographics. There was some money, not a lot of money, big middle class, lower class. And so it was for a while, it was the demo. And if you had a new snack food or if Burger King was going to try out a new sandwich or whatever, they would do it in Peoria.
Tacos, that's too exact.
And that's why they say if it plays in Peoria.
When you bring up deregulation in the 80s, I remember hearing about it. What did it do? Make it cheaper to fly?
It just made it cheaper to fly. I can't remember exactly
the airlines
what the
were
barriers.
subsidized. They were government subsidized, right?
No, I think it was more than that. There were regulations.
They still are. They
It
can't
just
fail.
kept people out. And George, can you look at what deregulation was? It basically was keeping people out that wanted to compete with the Uniteds and the Deltas at that time. TWA. A lot of things went away after deregulation. TWA. That to me seemed like, boy, that's always going to be around, and that hasn't been around since the 90s, right? Early 90s, probably. So what exactly happened? It was when I think it may have started under Carter, but then was pushed through by Reagan.
So it lowered fares. Deregulation allowed airlines to set their own prices, fostering competition. More routes and flights. Airlines could freely choose their routes. Increased competition. New airlines entered the market.
Right.
Rise of low-cost carriers. Deregulation enabled budget airlines to thrive, minimizing overhead and offering no-frills service and flexible pricing models.
Yeah,
airlines introduced dynamic pricing.
They would basically they were using the big airlines were using the regulations at the time to keep anybody getting in entry level. So basically they had, you wouldn't call it a monopoly, but what is it when 3 or 4 or 5 companies?
Duopoly?
Whatever. A quintopoly.
Oligopoly.
No, is that what? No, I don't know. I think that goes to, anyway, you get what I'm saying. They opened it up. And that meant that you didn't have to spend so much to fly, but that also meant, why did they charge $10 to go to the top of at Ponce Market?
Ponce City Market?
Keep the homeless off the top floor because that's where they want to. So that was the kind of thing. There was the $10 were to try to be an entry level.
Boy, and that slide is worth it to go.
They didn't want average people on planes back then. They just wanted people who were in basically the middle to upper class being on planes. And now you have a few fist fights in the airport. things have changed, but
when you pay
more people
$15,
get that's right.
That's something you put up with.
That's right. You
People
put up with that.
screaming and delaying the flight for 6 hours because they refuse to get off the plane. And when they do that, everybody has to get off the plane.
But I have to tell you, I don't fly that often, 2 or 3 times a year tops. And my experience is I've always seen this stuff on YouTube. I've never had anything like this really break out while I was there. Have you? Do you fly quite a bit, Jared? You fly for fun, frivolous flying.
I am a frivolous flyer. Nothing as a passenger, but of course, since I worked at the airport.
Oh, you worked as a redcoat.
And when I worked at the airport, I saw some things go down. So and that was
I'm sure you did.
And people, you saw kind of the.
You also had sex with every
flight attendant
and maybe a pilot.
Can you imagine? He was like 23. They come in. These worldly women. Well, any place to hang out in Atlanta? You cute little boy.
The queue was always, I've got a layover in downtown. I'm like, got it.
Got
okay,
it.
all right, let's hang.
I'm with you. Let me go to the bathroom first. I got to clean up a little bit.
What was the order of the list? What was the order of the list? I feel like the pilot still to this day gets first choice.
Yeah, but the pilot you got to still work
Pilots
with.
are like family men.
Yeah.
They're not like players.
Well,
I don't know.
When in Rome.
Yes, but I would think that
when in Greece.
Like you could develop, like you're just dealing with some 23-year-old who just wants some action. No demands on the other side. If you're flying with somebody and that's going on, that can get tricky.
Well, I'm sure for these flight, especially a lot of them were New York based at the time that I was working there. I'm sure that they were like, "Oh, I got to lay over in Atlanta," and then they meet me. When they meet me, like, "Oh, he's local."
Little Jared's running around all over the country.
Have a good time.
So when are we going to meet Daddy?
Listen, kid, we fly for free for life.
Yes.
Take the benefits and shut up. Alex Williams says there's a travel advisory on 85 in Gwinnett.
Yeah, big mess on 85 north out of DeKalb in Gwinnett County. Most of it due to this crash, that's been in multiple right lanes. 85 northbound just north of Indian Trail. Tough delays start back at Shallowford Road. Buford Highway will get you around that. We've also had a crash blocking the lane 316 westbound at Sugarloaf Parkway, causing some delays coming out of Lawrenceville heading over to I-85. And now we got another trouble spot on I-75 in northwest Atlanta, Kobe Dawkins.
It's 75 northbound right at Moores Mill Road. Crash blocking at least one lane, causing delays leaving Midtown downtown. Also slowing the ride on 85 southbound back to Georgia 400 in Buckhead. And this report is sponsored by Georgia Commute Options. With Georgia Commute Options, you can get more out of every mile. Earn prizes, gift cards, and other cool deals when you switch from driving alone to a cleaner trip. More at mygco.com. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Where you get your news is where you win.
Download the WSB app and get ready for the WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Amazing. 5 chances a day to win $5,000.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Are you serious?
Your next chance to win is tomorrow morning at 8.
Just enter the word at WSBRadio.com or on the WSB Radio app.
Oh, no.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
On 95.5 WSB.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer with experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Storm season officially here, friends, and it wreaks havoc on your house and your roof. It's Mark Aram here. If you truly want peace of mind about your roof, and for many years to come, ask Dr. Roof about their lifetime warranty. Dr. Roof's warranty means they have your roof covered for the lifetime of your roof, and if anything comes up, Dr. Roof will take care of it. You never have to worry about a thing. They stand behind it since they've been in business for over 35 years. Now that is peace of mind. All the info online at drroof.com.
Business fraud is on the rise. Is your bank helping you make a plan to detect and prevent it? I'm Brian Parks, head of commercial banking in Atlanta for Ameris Bank. Our local bankers are here to guide your company and make recommendations for your business, including fraud prevention tools like Positive Pay. This month, we're even offering an on-demand fraud prevention webinar for businesses like yours. To view the webinar and learn more about how we can help you protect your business, visit amerisbank.com/businessmonth. Ameris Bank, fiercely yours, member FDIC.
Summertime means lots of home time, so give your family a clean start with help from Zerorez. Why settle for old school chemicals and harsh soaps when you can enjoy ZR water technology for carpets that stay cleaner longer? Right now, you can get 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $129. That is 3 rooms for $129. Mention me, Chris Chandler, to secure this deal or book online at ZeroResAtlanta.com and ask about Zerorez commercial cleaning too. Zerorez, all they leave is clean.
Why don't you just shut your mouth? We're back on the air. Show some respect.
Well, wait, if we're back on the air, shouldn't we open our mouths?
No, you. We can't have the words coming out of our mouths that were coming out of our mouths.
That's
Shut
fair.
your mouth to that.
Okay.
Open your mouth to this.
Gotcha.
Hey, that's all.
Hey, I'm not gonna do that.
If I run for office, I want to get rid of the old, I want to get something new. Shut your mouth to that. Open your mouth to this. Von Hessler for Senate.
Nah, you're too young to run for office.
It is true. I'm too young and inexperienced.
Another 20 years.
I've only been around. I've only gone around the sun 60 times. It's not enough.
Someday you'll be old enough.
Oh, good. It's something I can look forward to.
And you can berate a world leader.
Yeah, I guess that's what it's all about now. That's what it's all about. You do have some good stories in the bin, I believe, if I recall. So if you want to get to one of those stories from Studio B1 Wednesday Grecian edition, you're welcome to.
Yeah, I do have good stories. This first one is about an AI-generated summer reading list that got published in major newspapers, including the Chicago Sun-Times and the Philadelphia Inquirer. The list had made-up books by famous authors, and now it came from a news service that pushes these things out to all these newspapers because these newspapers have slashed their staffs. And now we can't escape AI. The slop lives everywhere.
Yeah. Out of the 15 titles on the list, this is from NPR, only 5 were genuine.
No, really?
The other 10 were made up. They used real author names, right? But they
Why didn't anybody look things up?
Well,
the person who did it got caught,
Yeah.
and they claimed that they are sorry, and it was a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. The person was being lazy, but they probably get paid nothing themselves.
Sure.
You want to avoid this, pay people.
When they say their budget cuts and everything, you still need an editor. Like back in the old days, like I don't know, 4 years ago. If you're a human reporter, whatever, there's an editor. Your stuff doesn't just go straight up and get published. If you worked at a paper, everything was submitted to editors. They went through it. First of all, they're looking for grammar. Secondly, they wanted to make sure that it would fit within the page and their layout. And third, they want, make sure that, hey, well, do you have a source for this? Do you have, and these days, if you have an editor, they've probably got a pretty good eye for AI. They won't be able to do that for much longer.
They went first, though. Editors were fired first.
Yeah. Well, they're the most expensive, right?
Yeah, you'd see typos everywhere when you still had writers.
Tons of typos still.
Well, typos these days, I think, is a ploy to get people to comment. You get a lot of people who are angry, especially in headlines.
Wow, you are right. I hadn't even thought about this. This society, hey, social engagement is good. So let's make it up. Let's pretend there's social engagement. We'll sell
that's why you just don't engage with that stuff.
Oh, I never
like it
do.
doesn't. I know it's we kind of have to because of the show.
Yeah.
But like you said, if you weren't doing the show, you don't.
No, I mean, I would never engage. The kind of social engagement I'm talking about is when you, like he said, hey, pal, you got a lot of typos, and then you start in the comment section. I can't imagine commenting on a story that I'm reading. Honestly,
Yeah.
it would never occur to me.
Eric Von Hessler says.
Yeah, it's just like I either liked it or I didn't like it. If I liked it, I'm not going to tell you how wonderful you are. And if I didn't like it, I just won't come back for news.
You don't think it's strange when you look over, like, I guess you don't look at social media a lot, but occasionally, like, I'll look over in my Facebook feed especially, and I'll notice, like, prominent personalities in the Atlanta market commenting on different stories.
It was better when people had a containment zone, which was Yahoo News. It was the only place you could really comment on news stories.
Right.
And then all the freaks just went there.
But the social engagement, the advertising is tied to social engagement.
Now.
But all of it's not, and so much of it is phony.
Yep.
Every time there's something, beyond the bots and all that, what you just said, Greg, I'd never thought of, but yeah, obviously you would want to kind of make mistakes in your article just so people can call you an idiot, because that qualifies as, oh, his articles, people are socially engaging with his articles, yeah, because they're all calling him an idiot. But the advertiser doesn't know that when they see the numbers. Look at the social engagement. And then you sell what you know isn't real. I tell you, man.
So about the reach, Eric, the reach.
This world, this country used to be better. I'm just going to say that. I know I sound like an old man. Some things are better. I've said this before. Race relations are better, whether the media wants you to think that or not. Gays are accepted. There's a lot of things that are better. But overall, before the smartphone, the world was better. This country, the way people dealt with each other, the way that they socialized. Just imagine a world where people are looking at you and they're not looking down. Imagine that. That was the first 30 some odd years of my life. And it was you had to sell something to an advertiser that was real. TV ratings were done. People had diaries. There was something to go look at. And all of this stuff from the internet and social media is all puffery. It's not real, and you sell it and you know it's not real. This country used to be a better place.
We could make somebody else's day a little better.
Oh, I guess why not? After telling them how horrible things are, I might as well give them a night on the town, huh?
Yeah, there you go.
Let's do that. All right, you can win 2 tickets to see Bare Naked Ladies on Tuesday, June 3rd at Synovus Bank Amphitheater at Chastain Park. Be caller number 10 to 404-872-0750. Tickets are on sale right now at livenation.com. Alex Williams says there's a brake light battle on 85 through Norcross.
All due to this crash. It's been in multiple right lanes, 85 and northbound, Indian Trail Road, exit 101. You are jammed in all the way back to Shallowford Road. This is also impacting 285, trying to ramp onto 85 north. Use Buford Highway, Peachtree Boulevard, which becomes Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. Some good alternates to get you around that. Now we got a travel advisory on I-75 in Cobb County. Kobe Dawkins.
And it's going southbound right at Highway 5, exit 267. Crash knocking out all lanes at times. You can avoid it by taking Highway 41 as an alternate. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any age, system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Window Nation customers have been singing our praises for years. With fast, local service and an industry-leading 96% customer satisfaction rating, it's no wonder.
I researched window companies for the last year to see what the average prices were and the quality of work. Window Nation nailed both.
Right now, get 4 windows free with every 4 you buy, plus no interest for 2 years. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Schedule a free estimate now. Call 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com. That's 866-90NATION.
Hey, if you've been thinking about selling your home, now is the time. With a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, now you can sell your home fast and for more than you expect. Hey, Sean Hannity here. One of the most stressful things about selling your home is not being able to control the timing. Now, Mark Spain Real Estate, they allow you to receive an all-cash offer and close in as little as 21 days. No showings, no open houses, no waiting around wondering whether your home is going to sell or not. It's that simple. One of their clients, BR, said, quote, Mark Spain Real Estate sold my home within 30 days. We received 4 offers in just 1 week. And thanks to them, the process was by far the easiest and the quickest. With over 12,500 5-star reviews, well, you can trust Mark Spain Real Estate to sell your home fast and for the most money. Now choose when you want to move with the Mark Spain Real Estate guaranteed offer and close with confidence. Just go to markspain.com to find out what your guaranteed offer will be. That's markspain.com and you can start packing.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Passion. It's the difference between getting it done and being exceptional. For your home's exterior renovation, hire a company passionate about your project. Trust the Plus. Painting Plus.
Hi, I'm Charlie. My passion for high-quality remodeling began when I started my business at just 15. Now we have grown to the Plus family of businesses. If you hear the Plus, it's us.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus. Siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather, traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's news and talk.
At 6:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Mark Spain Real Estate. Our top local story, a Georgia college student is heading home after she was taken into custody by ICE. 19-year-old Hamina Arias Cristobal is granted bond by an immigration judge today.
Just seeing her face light up and the smile, and she called me right after, and she was just incredibly excited.
The girl's attorney is Dustin Baxter.
The judge was able to see what the Department of Homeland Security has not been able to see, and that is that she is not a flight risk, and she is not a danger to the community. And so the judge decided to set her bond at the lowest possible statutory bond of $1,500.
The girl should be home by tomorrow afternoon. She's hoping Dalton State will let her take the exam she missed while in ICE custody. 82 degrees in Atlanta, a sunny few days ahead before isolated rain chances return heading into the weekend. Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards is coming up. And this just in, the National Weather Service now confirms an EF1 tornado touchdown in Spalding County just before 3:30 this morning and continued into Butts County before dissipating just before 4 a.m. The storm's path about 10.5 miles long and had sustained winds of 90 miles per hour. Atlanta police believe the Georgia Tech student shot and killed at an off-campus apartment Sunday night was ambushed.
We're at a point where we believe this was a target act.
Homicide Commander Lieutenant Andrew Smith says they're looking for a person of interest. The student was shot in the head at the Connector Apartments on Spring Street. We have posted a video released by Atlanta Police at WSBRadio.com. A Conyers man is now the 13th person convicted of trafficking a missing teenager in Metro Atlanta. 34-year-old Terry Florence is sentenced to 20 years in prison. He was convicted of trafficking a 17-year-old girl and 2 adult women in DeKalb County. The 17-year-old victim was initially reported as missing from Kansas City, Missouri, and found at a hotel in Fulton County in August of 2020. Georgia Power's proposed 3-year rate freeze is getting support from the governor.
Saying the plan will help Georgia families with economic challenges, Governor Kemp says the state is an outlier.
While other states are raising their rates to make ends meet, we are freezing ours because of smart choices by our utility providers, the people you see here beside me, and many other leaders around the state.
The state's Public Service Commission will have the final say. A vote is expected July 1st. Even if the plan is approved, customers could still see new charges on their bills due to storm damage costs from Hurricane Helene. From the state capitol, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
A Gwinnett County firefighter is recovering from injuries suffered battling a house fire in Lawrenceville caused by a lightning strike.
The call came in around 2 a.m. as the owners said they were evacuating because lightning had struck their house. Gwinnett Fire Captain Ryan McGibbon says crews entered the home on Grouse Court.
Shortly after the first firefighter entered, the roof collapsed. This resulted in the firefighter having to be assisted out of the house by fellow crew members.
The firefighter was transported to Grady Hospital. He has since been released and will make a full recovery. The fire was extinguished, but the family of 11 now displaced. They're getting assistance from the Red Cross. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Tensions run high at the White House today as President Trump confronts the president of South Africa over allegations of genocide.
Generally, they're white farmers, and they're fleeing South Africa. And it's a very sad thing to see.
South Africa's president denies those allegations, telling Trump there is a minority party behind the tensions between blacks and whites. Now a WSB Money Update, a rough day for investors as stocks finish sharply lower. The Dow plummeting over 800 points. S&P and NASDAQ down about 1.5% on the day. And the tush push will remain legal in the NFL. ESPN reporting a proposal to ban it fell 2 votes shy today. The short yardage play is used mainly by the world champion Philadelphia Eagles. Some, though, have called the play to be banned because they believe it is dangerous. It is now 6:34, and it's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple Team Traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Got some better news for those stuck in the brake light battle. 85 northbound trying to head up into Gwinnett County. DOT tells us that crash should be all to the side now. 85 northbound Indian Trail Road, exit 101, but it is still a very slow ride all the way back to Shallowford. I would still recommend using Buford Highway for now. Travel advisory in Cobb County, crash 75 southbound past Highway 5, exit 267. Been scattered across most of the interstate at times. They're blocking all lanes to try to clear your jam from Barrett Parkway. Use Highway 41 Cobb Parkway as an alternate to avoid those delays. Checking the ride through downtown, it's Kobe Dawkins.
Well, 7585 northbound remains very slow starting at Langford Parkway, getting past Spring Street. And southbound rides, you're slow starting before the downtown merge, getting to I-20. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Clear skies and cooling down as drier air makes its way into the metro Atlanta area. Lows tonight in the upper 50s, low 60s. Tomorrow, sunshine with a high near 80. Friday, mostly sunny, morning low 55, afternoon high 76. Partly cloudy on Saturday with an isolated pop-up storm, high 79. Sunday, partly cloudy, high 84.
Right now it's 82 in Midtown Atlanta, 76 in Dunwoody, and 79 in Noonan. More news at 7 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Well, I bet it is safe to say you are sick and tired of home services companies that don't show up on time, don't get it right, ghost you then when you need them later. Hey, it's Chris Chandler. I don't have to worry about any of that because I only trust TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. TE Certified is a well-oiled machine with the highest level of communication and follow-up. They're on time, friendly, and fully stocked.
TE Certified, we love your home.
In St. Pete Clearwater, you can chill by the crystal clear Gulf.
And stroll downtown St. Pete's galleries and murals.
And hang with the locals on the Skyway Fishing Pier.
And escape to secluded white sand beaches.
Secluded, huh?
Yeah, and they're spectacular.
And then grab a sandwich at the grouper capital of the world.
And maybe a nightcap at a rooftop bar with sunset views.
Okay, just a short drive away, you'll find just what you're looking for.
And then some.
Book your summer getaway at visitspc.com.
Pro athletes and attorneys count on George Stein, the DUI lawyer. You can too. GeorgeStein.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Congratulations to Josh Cornelia.
Sorry, Josh Barrett of Cornelia. That's my
Listen,
bad.
are you drunk?
A little bit.
Are you drinking again?
Yeah, it's a wasted Wednesday. Let's go.
Well, Josh Barrett from Cornelia, not Josh Cornelia from Barrett, won 2 tickets to see Bare Naked Ladies on Tuesday, June 3rd at Synovus Bank Amphitheater at Chastain Park. Tickets are on sale right now at livenation.com. What you got there, Grecian Greg? Greg of the Greek Isle.
Yes.
What stories do you have from Studio Greek One?
This one bums me.
By the way, if
because
you're just
I
tuning
told
in,
you.
hold on. By the way, if you're tuning in, he's in Greece. He's in Greece.
Yeah.
It's
1:38 a.m.
Yeah. He's. Hey, we already applauded you for that. So
He's not on
Fire
but Autumn left, so I'd like to bring it up again. I'm here at 1:38, and Autumn had to leave the show early.
Well, listen. Everybody has different.
Rat.
Wow. Snitches get stitches.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, I don't know if you may want to stay in Greece. I don't know. You and Bruce Springsteen. I don't know what's going to happen when you get back to the country.
Where's he currently?
He's in Europe, and he's just going out of his way to be the, tell everybody how terrible Trump is. And so I think Trump, not knowing him, but, following him and his ways, Springsteen does have, I'm sure, a lot of older Springsteen fans, working class fans, voted for Trump. I just don't see
He
it.
doesn't care at this point. He doesn't, right? He doesn't care. He's rich enough. When he did that Broadway show is when he lost.
Yeah.
Because those tickets were so expensive, and we talk about a large portion of his audience being working class. Even if you just did one night a week when you were doing that run of shows on Broadway, it's like, you know what, the tickets are cheap tonight. He didn't do that.
You know, he never did that. And also it was just him and his wife, right? So all the money. There was like a piano, a guitar. There was probably a couple roadies. That was it. And so I think that what I'm saying about Trump is I wouldn't put it past Trump because he's been so vocal against Trump while he's in Europe. I would not put it past Trump that once he gets back here and starts doing shows, that Trump would say, hey, maybe you ought to let him know how you feel during the shows.
Boo.
And then you just end up in just a crappy experience.
Well,
if you want to hear music or you like spring, you just end up inside the middle of this stupid fight between billionaires.
But to Greg's point, though, because the tickets are so expensive, the only booing that you would hear would probably be in like the 300 and the 400 sections. I just don't
a lot
think
of these people that, I first saw Bruce Springsteen when I was 16 years old. I make more money now than I did then. A lot of people that, he's been around a good long time. So an awful lot of people that can be, working class, could have started there, have moved their way up. Maybe now they're upper middle class. Maybe they've actually kind of gotten themselves in the top class. Who knows? Socioeconomic. But there could be people who, come from his original fan base who are definitely Trumpers now. And if he's out there going, I don't care anymore, then I could see Trump saying, let him know how you feel. And my point is, I'm not for any of it because I don't want to go to a show and be in the middle of this argument, like I said, between two billionaires. Let's remember, this is an argument between two billionaires, both of whom are saying that they're looking out for the little guy. So, it's a game. But if you spend a lot of money for a concert, I think you want to hear the songs. And I'm talking about Kid Rock, Ted Nugent. I don't care what side you're on. Rush, they used to have a political kind of libertarian kind of bent. Neil Peart did. But it was subtle. You listen to the song The Trees. That's a libertarian anthem. It's got everything about, free markets and it's about the dangers of socialism and communism. But if you're not the person to go look and figure it out and see the allegories, you just go, this is a great song. It works for everybody. But by just being so straightforward with your comments, you're basically saying, if you're in this audience and you disagree with me, I hate you.
Yeah.
But thanks for the $800. I'll do a few songs along with this political commentary as well. It's just egos. It's got nothing to do with working class people. It's got nothing to do with looking out for people. I mean, is Bruce Springsteen really going to run around acting like the Democrat Party is not an elite? The people running the Democrat Party are not elitist at this point.
He is too. So he fits in.
Right. He's hanging out with the people at the top of the party. He's not hanging out with the people on the factory floor.
He did a podcast with the former president.
Yes. Yeah. Can we do that, Bruce? No. Probably not.
Well, you could at least send an email and see what happens.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Hey, let's get to let's get to the listener mail here.
I'm going to go to the bathroom.
All right.
There's your segment.
He was doing that dynamic I remember
that was that last
pricing stories popped up first that I heard with him, and like the tickets went to over $5,000 a piece.
Yeah, the last time around, his last tour, I don't know what he's doing this tour, if he's doing any. He just went all in for the dynamic pricing, along with McCartney and a lot of other people who can't, who shouldn't be let off the hook.
Also, do they need this money at their age?
Yeah, it's the whole thing. One thing I will say about those two, and McCartney is like this. McCartney is going to hold on to every penny, and he's always been like that. But you've never heard stories about him buying castles. Mm-mm. Like he is working class in that sense, in his mentality that you keep putting the money in the bank and you keep putting the money in the bank. He owns probably 4 or 5 homes, but they're not. It's not, that's McCartney's house. Every house you've ever seen is either like a ranch in Arizona. That I think he still has the place in London he's had since the 60s. So I get it. His thing is, I come from lower middle class. You save your money. You make all the money you can. But you're right. I mean, I've never heard stories of Springsteen owning castles either. So it's kind of that same mentality. But also, once you've got billions of dollars, You can toss out a $50 ticket show.
Yeah.
It will help you. It will help you because, and by the way, if you're Springsteen or McCartney, you've taken care of like 5 generations at this point before this money runs out. So you don't need to just, I don't want to use the R word, but you know what I mean, to your customers. When at this point in your career, it just doesn't look good.
Now, is he not getting royalties on his music anymore? He sold his catalog, right, Bruce?
Yeah, but he sold it for. See what Bruce Springsteen sold his catalog for. No, he doesn't get
I think it was
royalties.
$500 million.
$500 million. If he's not a billionaire, he's close to it.
He is. He's worth. I actually have it here. It's $1.2 billion.
There for the working man.
Yeah, and he sold the catalog for between $500 million and $550 million.
Is that even worth it? All these catalogs that go, like, how much can you do with Bruce Springsteen's music? I mean, how many commercials can you put it in? How many?
The generation of people that's going to care about it are getting older and older.
I don't know
older.
that that's a great investment for any of these guys. Like Neil Young sold his.
That's
for
why
like
I think so many artists
$4
are trying to sell them now
Yeah.
because they're getting such high prices. Like, oh yeah, go right ahead.
I
You want it?
think they're getting. The people who are paying for this, I don't know what they think they're going to do with this music.
Sony bought Springsteen's.
Yeah, like what do you do with it? How do you make that money back? Is this going to be like 40 years from now when it's all avatars doing everything?
Well, if he
and
sells his likeness, then they can just do concerts.
I guess
for infinity.
But I don't think people are going to be all that interested. You know, as time has gone on, I used to be a huge Springsteen fan, and I'm not saying that I'm not a fan of some of those albums. But over time, I've kind of lost. His relevance really isn't much to me, and it's not just because he's living a life that's not the life that he sings about. They're not songs that I go back to over and over again. I mean, how many times can you listen to Backstreets? I mean, he says "hiding on the Backstreets" about 500 times at the end of that song. I mean, how many times can you listen to that?
I listen to his first 2 albums at least once a month.
I love the first 2 albums. I'll give you that. I love the first 2 albums. I love the second album. I think the second album is his best album. But he's been putting out he's got like 50 albums. I don't know hardly any of them.
We're gonna get Bruce's version. Is he gonna go back and
re-record everything? Trips like us, baby, we were born. Sandy,
raving over Lily tonight. I mean, even I'm looking at prominent artists that have sold their catalog. I mean, even as much as I'm biased because I like EDM, but Deadmau5 sold his for $55 million. There's no way.
Yeah, what do you do with it?
I don't know.
Somebody needs to. Maybe I have to get Wes Moss on that one. What? They're not just throwing this money out there for nothing. But I don't see how you get $500 million worth of, ads with their music on it. I really don't. Maybe there's something. Obviously, movies and.
Who knows how they're calculating this? But I asked Grok how much has Sony made on Springsteen's catalog since buying it, and they estimate 68.4. So that's 4 years.
68.4 million?
Yeah.
Wow. You got to ask it again. How? Like, how was that money made? How was that money generated?
Streaming, publishing rights. That's what it seems to
Royalties
say.
when he performs?
I don't know. That seems like and where's that going to be in 15 years, 20 years? It just doesn't seem like a good deal to me.
I mean, it's not a bad. They're making money. They're going to have it for another, how many ever, forever.
Streaming makes sense. I know.
How many people?
Like you said, Eric, I don't know how many people are listening, but streaming, that's a way. I don't hear it much in commercials or movies.
Neither do I. And not even like the Born in the USA and all that. You think would be the easy ones,
Or
like a Ford truck kind of thing. Because I think he's probably got something in there that while I'm alive, you can't use it in the Ford commercials or whatever. But after I'm dead, do whatever you want.
We're officially offering the Von Hassler Doctrine catalog too, if anybody wants to.
Yeah. It's all of my notes are involved as well. All right, we'll come back to this. We're running late. Alex Williams says there's a crash on 75 in Marietta.
Yeah, widely scattered. They had all lanes blocked to try to clean some of this up. Now it's a travel advisory with 2 right lanes blocked. 75 southbound below Highway 5 exit 267. 75 south jams in from Chastain Road. 575 south, you're hitting the brakes at Barrett Parkway. Use Highway 41 Cobb Parkway as an alternate. New stall in the center lane to Cab. 285 northbound, the outer loop just before Covington Highway exit 43. That is adding extra pressure on the ride back to Flat Shoals exit 48. How are things on I-85 up into Gwinnett County, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, it remains slow, 85 northbound, due to an earlier crash that has cleared, starting at Chamblee-Tucker Road, moving through I-285, getting to Indian Trail Road. And this report is sponsored by John Foy & Associates Personal Injury Law Firm. An injury can change your life. Give attorney John Foy the first shot and call for a free case evaluation. You deserve justice and help. Let them earn your trust and your business. Call John Foy or go to johnfoy.com. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
When the news matters to you.
The FAA says the flight crew was reporting possible smoke in the flight deck.
95.5 WSB has you covered.
Beef prices are going up.
Your 24/7 news source.
They had no ties to a gang, but they were killed by
when
them.
you need the story, all you need to do is listen. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's breaking news station.
Okay, so I want to tell you guys about the Memorial Day tent sale at Georgia Spa Company. So you've been thinking about getting a hot tub or a sauna, maybe a swim spa, even a cold plunge. Those are huge these days. Well, you're not going to find a better time of year to save thousands bringing that relaxation home. Now look, the Georgia Spa Company Memorial Day tent sale is going to end on Memorial Day. Visit georgiaspacompany.com to find the showroom near you. So come on out today to save thousands at Georgia Spa Company's Memorial Day tent sale.
The Lloyd Advisory Group has a question for you. Is your retirement inflation-proof? Here's what we mean. In retirement, chances are you're on a fixed income with unpredictable expenses. So how do you not run out of money when the cost of just about everything continues to go up? You inflation-proof it. Financial advisor Mark Lloyd and the team at Lloyd Advisory Group can show you ways to help fight inflation so it doesn't outpace your income. Call us today at 770-766-5611. Inflation can take a huge chunk out of your retirement savings, but it doesn't have to. With some simple planning, inflation can go from being a major disruption to a minor annoyance. Call Mark Lloyd and the team at Lloyd Advisory Group now to start inflation-proofing your retirement today. 770-766-5611. That's 770-766-5611. Insurance products and services are offered through the Lloyd Advisory Group. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Hey, it's Belinda for the board-certified plastic surgeons at Marietta Plastic Surgery. I've trusted their team for years. Doctors West, McNeil, Hanna, and Biswas have been serving the Atlanta area for over 25 years with expert surgical and non-surgical care. With warmer weather on the way, are you summer ready? Marietta Plastic Surgery is here to help you look and feel your best. They now offer Awake Liposuction, a less invasive way to sculpt your body with less downtime. And their med spa still has all your go-to treatments like Botox and fillers, microneedling, Diamond Glow, hydrofacials, and Morpheus 8 for radiant, glowing skin. Looking to restore thinning hair or reshape your hairline? Marietta Plastic Surgery is the only practice in the region that offers the gold standard in hair restoration, the Foundation Aesthetic Hair Restoration Method. Visit MariettaPlasticSurgery.com to schedule your consultation today.
City of Hope, a place where seemingly impossible blood cancers become treatable, curable. With more than 19,000 bone marrow transplants performed, we're the largest and most successful program in the U.S., making major breakthroughs in treating leukemia, lymphoma, and rare blood cancers, personalizing a treatment plan right down to your DNA. Now the experts striving to make the impossible a reality are closer to home. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. But don't just take our word for it. Here's Jackie and Veronica, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Just call or click to see how much you can save today. Because when it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit ConsumerCellular.com. That's 1-888-FREEDOM or ConsumerCellular.com today. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
A subject-less email?
It's a subject-less email, so that's the one. How am I going to know what it is? It's the one with no subject.
Got it.
Makes it easy. So the photo for our podcast is the AI thing that recreated the dream that I had when I was 5 years old. It scared the hell out of me. Well, I mean,
So
people
the
might
string
want to see
stuck
the
with you.
pictures
No,
as
I
we
love
talked
it.
about it. We talked about it earlier.
I can't believe it. And then I did it right after you.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing.
You probably didn't hear that part of the show, Greg, because you're over there in Greece. But
I didn't. But I like the idea that this has haunted you your whole life, and now you can visualize it.
Yeah, I just described it to what's
see
it called? Aura? What's it called? The one that makes the images off of ChatGPT.
Oh, I didn't know how to.
Oh no, that's the video thing. I tried to turn it into a video, having the kid like get scared, but that had nothing to do with the.
Yeah.
But the first image that ChatGPT made, I just described the lucid dream I had when I was 5. Scared the hell out of me. And it took a few little tweaks, but not many, 3 or 4. And then it was like, oh my goodness, that's almost the moment. The kid in the bed is a little bit older than I was. The kid looks like he's about 8 or 9 years old. I was actually 5. But I tried to tell it, make the kid a little bit younger, but then it kept changing the face into this like cherubic thing. You know, it just didn't work at all.
It asked me how I wanted to position the kid, so I said looking out the window.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what I saw in my
You
dream.
actually saw Jesus coming out?
Yeah, I must have just heard about the burning bush.
Right.
I must have been to
Yeah,
church.
the thing with the giraffes, I'm thinking maybe we went to the zoo or something, and I
or
saw
we've
it.
had AI from the very beginning, and we're just living in the AI universe.
Maybe we are.
Oh my God!
You guys had AI when you were kids. You've been
We're
living in this universe
inside
the
it.
whole time.
AI was just waiting for. AI was like, oh, that dream? Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, absolutely. Just waiting for you to ask.
Well, that whole simulation theory's been out for a while.
Yeah, I don't believe any of those things anymore. I think now that we are a wheel inside of a wheel inside of a wheel inside of a wheel, and we can learn enough about the things around us to, be able to live better. But as far as explaining everything, well, the music's playing. I can't get into the string theory right now. We don't
Shelley
have
Winter
time.
can continue it.
Someday we'll know. All right, Greg, thank you. Go to bed.
Yes.
2 o'clock in the morning. That music's telling us 2 things. Shut the hell up. Get the hell out. You know us. We do what we're told. We're good people. We're good citizens like that. Shelley Winter is up next. Great radio show for you. We'll be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. You're all invited to join us. But until then, continue on your journey. Don't listen to this.